涙を流すのはお前を愛して苦しんでいるからだ。
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, Chainsaw Man, and Jujutsu Kaisen week to week. Back this week covering Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 29.
29.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Eagle.
What up, it's Kiko.
Noxie.
And Nickums.
And as always, before we get started, we would just like to say go ahead and visit that link tree in the description box down below, where you can find links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on, as well as links to support the podcast and donate if you would feel so inclined. Also, go ahead and slap a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, because the content is fire.
Yes, sir.
And with that all out of the way, how you guys feeling about this weekend jump? It's a short one. I mean, we only
No
got
Promise
4.
Neverland, no My Hero. Well, Promise Neverland's out of here. No My Hero.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Promise Neverland is
4 stories.
gone.
I mean, damn, but like Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, I was just like screaming, like, what is happening right now?
Me too. It's
Yeah.
so much. So
Me
much.
too, actually. And I usually
One Piece also
don't
fire.
get...
Yes.
Yes.
And
Chainsaw
isn't that
Man,
so
at least,
crazy
I mean-
how it's at a point now where it's like, and One Piece too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna speculate wildly during fucking One Piece too.
Yeah,
and,
me
you know,
too. Me too. I got a lot
I'm
to
ready
say.
for it. I'm ready for it.
I got a lot to say
Yeah.
for everything.
yeah.
Let's just go into
Yeah,
Jujutsu,
yeah.
please.
Let's get in there.
yes.
All right, here we go. Chapter 111 of Jujutsu Kaisen, the Shibuya Incident, part 29.
So this chapter
And let me
was
just
like,
say, this cover,
yeah.
looking with
Yeah.
Megumi
Squad.
and Toji chilling.
I don't know
Got
why
the
they're always
Ouroboros and the
barefoot, though.
wolf.
Yeah, I was
Why is
wondering why
everybody
they were
always
barefoot.
It just a lot of bare feet in
What's
Jujutsu
wrong with
Kaisen.
bare
I don't know.
Gege
Yeah,
just probably likes drawing hands and feet.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with bare feet. It's just like, man, I feel like they be
Like
wearing
it means
shoes, right?
something.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
No, I
there's
just-
like lore about like wearing shoes or not wearing shoes, and like whether it connects you to like the Earth's energy and whatnot.
No, I could.
I like that. And I love the
I mean,
color.
that's
I
kind of
love
like
I love
Q Holder too. Remember
love
how they
Gege's,
grabbed the ground?
Shundo.
with
Not
their
within the
feet?
story.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about real life.
Yeah.
And I love
Yeah.
Gege's color palette in their art.
Hell
yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
like, this
Yeah.
color, this color story is
Gege has-
amazing on this cover alone. Like
It
the
just
salmon pink.
obviously it
Yeah.
is Gege, of course, but it just
Yeah.
this is his aesthetic. Like
Yeah.
like these colors, like you said, the color scheme just it feels. Just even the skin tone is just like a different tone. I feel like most people would use, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't
Yeah.
know, but it's,
And like the dark clouded green in the background.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
hell yeah.
looks
Definitely.
amazing, especially with like the
Definitely.
salmon
That sets
pink,
the whole
like,
thing off.
like the contrast of like the pink next to it. Beautiful.
Yeah,
For sure.
that makes the whole thing go crazy. But
oh yeah.
let's
Yeah.
let's get right into it.
Yeah, dude, this chapter was totally a love letter to Jogo fans. Like I remember like, and I know we're kind of like skipping
Jogo.
past the beginning
Not
here, which we
playing
can
around.
definitely go back to. But I just want to
Man.
say, like, for everyone out there, me
Yeah.
myself included, who thought Jogo like wasn't shit. Like I
Yeah.
have to like kind of like eat my words a little bit here, and it makes sense. though,
Jogo's
because, like,
dialogue in this chapter was fire.
he's
Also
all of a sudden
fire,
just
yeah.
became like he's all of a sudden just left like why was he so cool this chat? Like I don't
Yeah.
I don't understand where it came from, but I mean it makes sense because his only fights have been against Gojo the whole time.
Right. So
Yeah.
he looks
like,
weak.
that's
But
yeah,
like
so
that's
he
just
looks
against
weak.
Gojo.
And
Yeah.
Gojo's
Well-
been sealed in this box, and Gege just keeps giving him feet after feet after feet while he's in confinement. And it's like,
Yeah.
and everything is except for Satoru Gojo. The only person
Yeah.
who did this before was Satoru Gojo. And it's just like all of this shit, and like it puts it into perspective just how strong Gojo was. And when it comes
yeah.
out and it says compared to Dagon, this dude was on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jogo was stronger than fucking Dagon? Like,
Yeah. So
Oh,
Jogo
and
has
when
to be
I was
as strong
thinking
as
back when I
Mahito,
was
if
said
not
too.
stronger.
he's the strongest one.
Yeah, Jogo's
gotta be
stronger
the
than
first one
Mahito.
that
showed
That's
up.
what it
He was
makes
the
me
first
feel
one that
that
showed
way,
up when he fought
Yeah.
Gojo. He
Yeah.
had a territory right when we saw him, like within the
Yeah.
first 20 chapters.
Yeah.
And he made a comment also about how he was really young and inexperienced when he was fighting Gojo at that time.
Right.
So he was like, my shit's not very strong,
Yeah.
as it could be anyway. So like,
Yeah.
if he's that young with a territory, you know,
Yeah.
I think he really, from jump
Well,
was
yeah,
meant to
he's
be on a
just-
different level than other
Yeah.
curses.
He has the most wherewithal. Like Mahito's like unhinged. Jogo's not unhinged really. He's mad about
He's angry,
shit,
sure,
but
yeah.
He's angry, but he knows full well everything.
calculated.
Like, yeah, he knows.
And he's got a plan.
everything.
He like
Yes.
has a literal plan. He's trying to execute. It's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean that just
and-
goes to show you that he is definitely the strongest curse. Like that's the thing. I sat here and thought about it. Like, does this make him stronger than Mahito? And you just like, Mahito gets like free stats on the fact that he's like, you know, I don't know, antagonist 1B. You know, like, you know, so like, you just want to give it to Mahito, but I can't
Right.
anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
And so
Also,
they are injured though. You do got to take it with a grain of salt that these three
Yeah.
are injured. That
Yeah,
he, you know,
super
smacks
tired.
up.
right.
Yeah.
But like
super injured.
going to talking about Mahito a little bit, like he basically lost to Mekimaru. You know what I mean? Like he didn't
Yeah.
lose. Obviously he did win or whatever. But like
Yeah.
this
Go Geto got
Mekimaru
him out of
almost
there.
yeah. And so he basically lost to him. And but when you're reading it, I feel like Mahito like has this like thematic importance, you know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
like Yuji like really hates him and like really like was shook by his ability
Definitely.
using. So like
Yeah.
when you're reading it, you feel like, oh yeah, Mahito's probably the strongest or whatever. He's probably gonna be like a really big bad guy. But it's like no, like Jogo.
Y'all think Jogo's taking Mahito?
Yeah.
Man,
I think so.
It's
Based
just
on this,
so-
based on this.
Ooh,
Bro,
that would
I don't
be
know.
crazy,
Mahayana
bro.
prison is just so weird. It's like who's gonna
Yeah.
win the domain battle, which I feel like it's Jogo. I just feel like
feel
he's
like it would be
stronger
a-
and would you know, like if they're having a domain battle similar to you know Dagon and
Yeah.
Megumi, like
Yeah.
I feel like Jogo would just not that it's a better territory when it's completed. Like I would say Mahayana prison's probably. It's hard. It's splitting hairs maybe, but I just think Jogo has more energy to just overtake. He's more developed. His curse technique is better, you know.
Yeah,
Where
and he has that passive
Mahito
heat.
is.
He has that passive heat inside of his domain that I feel like even if it did become like a stalemated, sure hit techniques are canceled out inside of this domain battle, like you're still dealing with volcanic heat. Whereas Mahito, you know, is going to be in that domain with you and doesn't have like that passive. Like besides his sure hit technique, like what else does Mahayana prison do? You know what I mean? And obviously he's in close proximity to you and he can transmogrify you at a closer proximity, but like at the same time it's like you got to get really close to this man and it's probably like 1,000,000 degrees in that motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, but
like,
they can use. It's not. It's kind of like simple domain, honestly. Though they put Juryoku around themselves to not get hit by that. Like Gojo at least did against Jogo when he was
that was
in
pure
the.
jujutsu. Because his limitless was countered. So that's what he was using inside of the volcanic domain.
That's
was
just a Juryoku shield, right? Basically.
Yeah. I don't think. No, go ahead.
Yeah, like I was just saying, like it's similar to a simple domain, but it's not called that. But so I mean, I don't know. Maybe Mahito could do that and withstand that.
We're coming out of the
I
anime versus battles episode, so we're like,
Yeah.
who would win?
Well, so
need to-
in the chapter, like
Toji. Let's start with Toji. Oh,
you want to go back? I mean,
Well,
yeah.
what were you gonna say? What were you gonna-
Well, go ahead and say what you were gonna say. Actually, yeah.
Oh, it's good. If we're still talking about Jogo or whatever,
Yeah,
like
for sure,
I guess
sure.
I was gonna ask, like, so what's the status of everyone he just like vaporized? You know what I mean?
I don't think
None
any
of them are dead.
I don't think any of them are dead.
Yeah,
None of them are dead.
I don't think. I mean,
So like,
Now
here's
These
Vito-
people are getting
maybe.
crispy. Like these are
Now-
life-threatening burns.
yeah, these are
these
very severe burns.
But he
I
was
don't think Maki's out of
interrupted.
there.
But he was interrupted on the killing blow on Naobito. He was about to kill him and didn't
Yeah.
because of Sakuna. And
Yeah.
and so you can say for sure that Naobito's not dead because of that.
Sure,
Like he
sure.
knew
Yeah.
that he has to do that. And it's just like, you know, Makima and or I mean not Makima. Jeez, I'm already ready for the next segment,
Yeah.
trust me.
Yeah.
But Maki is and Nanami are basically enhancer types, right? Like they're both got high defense, physical abilities. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm sure
I just
they're in-
don't think that if any of them are going to die, at least these three, I understand that like this is a very high stakes story and you can't really like say that anyone is truly safe, which is a
Yeah.
strength of the series. But I
Right.
don't think that they're going out like this in this kind of like flash fried, like kind of like way. And I don't want to say that every single character is going to deserve like a grandiose exit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That has like a whole bunch, like, because
Yeah, but these characters would.
but these,
would
I
they-
would assume that these characters would, and I mean, like, if they are dead,
And the only
I feel
one
like-
that wouldn't have been Naobito. Like the
Yeah.
only one, because
Right.
he's the least,
Yeah.
just important to the story thus far, right?
yeah, exactly. And I
But
feel
definitely he didn't die because, like you said, he was
Yeah.
gonna do the second
Yeah.
attack and he stopped. So
Yeah.
why would you do the second attack if you knew he was dead already?
Yeah, and I mean, it would just feel awkward to me if like Naobito is built up the way that he is, and considering his status, that the only like real fight that we see is a 4v1 that he really kind of like underperformed in to a certain degree. Like not
Sure.
necessarily like I'm not saying that like underperformed isn't like he didn't do anything spectacular, but like he didn't have like a stunning win of any kind. He didn't pull out like an insane W of any kind. Like he was relatively underwhelming compared to like the outcome of the fight. You know what I mean?
You would have thought
that would just be
in
weird
most-
to kill him right after that. But
Well, then he would have been able to 1v1 Dagon in most shonens,
he was
right?
he was handling bro like before the domain, obviously.
before the domain, and that was cool. But like. You just think like, what does this mean when you say, okay, Jogo's on another level, so nobody can fight Jogo except for Gojo, Jogo and Gojo. And Mei-Mei's getting washed. Mei-Mei's dead, right? Like, how can Mei-Mei and Wee how? With,
I mean,
with
I don't
what we
know.
just saw, like, I mean, Brain Coon's got a domain, and I don't, you
would think so, yeah.
But things can happen, obviously, in the story where like something interrupts the situation. Somebody else comes in, you hear a boogie woogie or something, like.
But I mean, even if Naobito did die here, even though I feel like it would be awkward, it would still be kind of cool because it would let us as like the reader know that like not everyone is guaranteed a stunning display of who they are before they kick the bucket. Like you can go at any time, and obviously I'm like a huge proponent of like higher stakes in shonen stories. So like I would be down for that, but at the same time it's like
I did kind of assume they're dead.
And that's just the way that the story has been led. Like like if this was like a Black Clover or something like that, we would be like, these guys are fine, no problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, like, it's Jujutsu Kaisen, and this is the difference between like higher stakes storytelling and like campier storytelling. Like that's very old hat shonen storytelling. You know what I mean?
What about the Ghetto girls? You think
they're out of here, bro?
But
why are they out of here and not everyone else? No, they're fried. They're on the ground fried.
Yeah, did you see him behind Jogo?
There's fire behind. I know that.
Yeah.
But does that say
they screamed?
And they're like,
they screamed, and then there's
guys, you're right.
Smoldering. You can't see what's smoldering, but presumably two bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
I will say this about the Naobito situation. I think now that I'm looking at, I think he will get one more showing, whether it be him doing something crazy and getting an insane W, like you said, Noxie, or going out in like a valiant showing of his character.
Yeah.
But
Something
the only
like
thing
that.
that makes me think that he will get at least one more showing is that we just now got the explanation on his ability. So to kill him and then explain his ability and then leave him dead, it just seems kind of weird. So I think because
I don't think it's so weird,
his
but
ability
I
gets
definitely
explained right before he gets killed.
But that's the same thing with like Inverse. Like they explained Inverse and then immediately beat him. Like the Netero type guy.
That's an enemy though, and that was
I get that. I'm just saying like, and I agree. I agree thematically. It makes more sense that you don't kill off the character. You just explain their ability. Like, why do that then? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did transition it in a good way. Now that I'm looking again at the end of the quote of the narrator.
Yeah. However,
they set it up nicely.
However,
in a way.
it was back when he
That
had
was
two
when
arms.
he still had his arm.
Yeah.
So that could be a nice, he's fried. But like you said, you pointed out another thing is that he didn't deliver the killing blow. So he's kind of fried, but he's not out of there.
Though,
for sure.
Jogo might have went for the second attack because he
just
felt,
to ensure.
Yeah, he felt this guy was maybe stronger than the other two, so he's like, I'm just gonna give this guy another one just to be safe, and then was interrupted. So he could still be dead regardless.
In regard to the Ghetto girls, I'm trying to think of like, because obviously Sukuna's playing a huge, factor here inside of this like situation. Obviously, he kind of like flexed at Jogo, and Jogo was like, "Holy shit, Sukuna's doing shit." You know what I'm saying? How many fingers did you feed him? I think it would be really cool just to make it make sense for Sukuna's involvement later on in the arc on the side of the protagonist, is if like these girls, obviously after being betrayed by Brain-kun, are like, all right, well, bet I'm gonna grab these fucking fingers from you. I'm gonna feed them to Yuji with a contract, you know, tied to Sukuna. And if I feed these, you know, these fingers to Yuji, and which will obviously, we get the dialogue here that says if you feed him enough, it'll overwrite that original contract that would keep Yuji in control of the body and allow Sukuna to take control of it. I could see them being like, okay, here's the contract. We give you the fingers, you get control of Yuji's body, but like before the end of the contract, you have to go get, like, figure out this Geto situation for us. So like, if we die here, like, cool, but at least Geto is, you know, dealt with the way that we were originally promised, and you are going to help us with that in exchange for us giving you
I like that
over this body again. So I think that
I
that
want
would
to
be
pose
cool,
a question.
because otherwise I don't want Sukuna to just come out and just start running rampant on any, like, I
Where
mean, like,
did
that
they
would be
get a
crazy.
finger?
I mean, well, I mean, they've been rolling with, you know, the antagonist team for X amount of time up until Geto's, you know, or Brain-kun's betrayal. So they have access to, you know, their plans and whatnot. So
Eagle, what was
I want
your
to pose a question here.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I was reading this, I got the strange feeling that this girl has an ability that has something to do with the fact that she whipped out her phone and took a selfie of them.
Right. I've heard people talking about that online too, but I have no idea
like,
what that would.
Out of all
have any
things you could do in
information
that
on
moment, run, try and fight back. Why do you whip out your phone, grab her, and make sure you take a picture of both of you?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe just now it kind of came to my head. What if they have an ability similar to like maybe something Mekamaru's doing, where like maybe she pulled their consciousnesses into like the digital world,
Ooh, tight.
and they're now traveling in that spectrum, and they can either like implant themselves into some kind of machine or just communicate with people through their phones or some shit and let them know what's going on.
Alvito's frame shit and get it.
Yeah.
No,
I
that
don't
would be
know why.
wild.
I got a weird feeling that like she did something when she took a picture.
It's weird to have that. Exactly. So like I was in the same, you know, thought process you had there. It's that it feels like that's too much for them to just be gone and you know, like, because I definitely noticed the smoke cloud behind them in the smoldering whatever. And you're like okay, it's showing the reader like that they're probably dead, but you just I mean, I don't know, like a phone ability seems like it's going to be something crazy like that. Or what also is crazy about it too, I mean, it's in the same realm as Zenin abilities, right? If you know, so I mean, I don't know. I like what Eagle's saying with the getting, you know, their consciousness transported. I was saying just transporting themselves. That's kind of what I was thinking too, is that
because
maybe they took some damage and got hit with fire, but still teleported and maybe not died, got out of there, you know, maybe took half an attack.
It is possible, because behind Jogo, you just see that there is smoldering. You do not see anything of what is burning.
Yes, exactly.
It's possible he did the attack and smoldered the ground. The ground is smoldering, but they actually like teleported out or something using that phone ability.
And we know that they have an ability. We know that they have Jutsu Shiki of their own because Geto saves them in the premature death flashback after hidden inventory, because they were using their abilities to fight off curses
to kill
in the town, but people
Yeah.
in the town couldn't see the curses that they were using their abilities against, so they assumed that the people who were causing damage to the town were these little girls, and, you know, ostracize them and fucking, you know, banish them to whatever kind of like torture that they were going through when Geto came in and saved them. So it would be weird to kill them before we see what that ability is. So,
and we saw the dark-haired girl, Nanako, maybe, whatever.
I think it is Nanako.
The dark-haired, the dark-haired one in
Mimiko.
the. There's two Mimiko and Nanako, right?
Yeah,
I think the white-haired one shouts Mimiko when she reaches out to grab the one.
Yep.
So,
Okay. So okay. So Mimiko, we did see her Jutsu Shiki at least a little bit. We saw her with a weapon. It was a like rope with a noose.
Oh, back in the prequel.
In the prequel, yeah. So we never got to see the blonde one, and obviously that's her Jutsu Shiki right now is the phone, which
No, the
There's just
dark-haired
too
one
much-
has the phone, doesn't she? Oh no, the
No,
blonde.
the blonde one.
no, blonde
The white-haired
has
one.
the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, she definitely did something with that phone.
I agree.
No way she did.
Or at least tried to. But probably did. I do agree with you that like this is good. I like the paneling and everything. Like it just like it makes you think that they're dead, but like very much leaves open the possibility that they're not dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, if this was a seinen, sure, maybe they're all dead. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But like just like and I know that we're talking about stakes and whatnot, but for some reason it just doesn't feel right that any of these characters are dead right now. And I know that this is like showing like a Jogo flex right now, and it's his time. You know what I mean? Like this is here you go, Jogo fans, but at the same time, it's like I feel like these
at the very least, even if they're not dead, they are very much out of the fight for probably several arcs. You know what I mean?
And it doesn't invalidate Jogo at all if any of them do survive this, because you could clearly see that he's wildly capable compared to all of these people.
He easily could have killed them easy.
Yeah.
So do we think they're gonna be like fucking Shishio, like monster men when they're done healing? And
Just
have
mummies.
like no fucking skin and
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I'm with Nick.
chunk, like one of them's got like a fucking their whole cheek missing. You can see their teeth and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that'd be some fucking shit, man.
That'd be some.
That'd be
serious
raw,
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
If Nanami came back looking like the Terminator, I would not be opposed to that shit, actually.
Ooh, I like that.
With the cheekbone showing, eye missing, with the yeah.
How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel now that we finally and we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier in the conversation, but like, how do you feel now that we've officially gotten tried and true exposition, multiple very thorough dialogue bubbles dedicated to Naobito's explanation of his Jutsu Shiki? And I feel like we all were in the ballpark, even though none of us had like a legitimate explanation, like figured out. But I feel like we all were really right about this.
Yeah.
And I said speed up frames, slow down frames. Sure, I wouldn't say I was dead on, but that's pretty close, right? Like,
I mean, I think the main thing about it is that like.
Yeah,
I think the main difference, the key difference that none of us said anything about, which obviously how could we, is like he splits the second into 24 frames and then maps out the trajectory of how he thinks you're going to, his prediction of your movement. And if you don't move the way that he thinks inside of that 24 frames, inside of that second, then it's going to freeze you in a single frame for a second.
No,
I don't think it's his prediction. I think it's literally he sees what you're going to do in this.
He sees what you're going to do, and then if you don't
otherwise
do that
like
thing,
and if you don't
follow that
from that,
trajectory,
then you freeze.
if you deviate from the trajectory that he maps out in that second, that he splits into those frames and sees all of your movements in that second, if you move in any kind of different way outside of that mapped out trajectory, then the penalty is that you get frozen in that frame.
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
The
words here that I don't understand is the victim must also abide by the 24 frames per second rule. What does that mean, that you must abide by it?
That if you don't, so like when they get hit with the frames, they're still moving and they have this trajectory path that they have to stay on, but they're like, what the fuck happened to me? And they try to break out of it and just stop it and go in a different direction.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Right.
Okay,
that's
but that's what
I
also
just
is
said.
happening. But no, you're saying if I feel like Noxie, what you were saying is that if I cast that on a curse and it doesn't go exactly how Naobito is predicting the frames, then Naobito would freeze, and I don't think that's the case.
No, I didn't. No,
he said the victim.
Okay, then I totally misunderstood that. Okay.
No, it's literally.
And so he does the ability and then tries to make him divert course, and if they divert course, they take a penalty. You know what I mean? Like they're supposed to continue on with what they were going to do. And then he like just messes with them, you know.
So either he knows
as well.
Yeah, either he knows exactly where you're going to go inside of that second, inside of that 24 frames, and meets you there, or you try to do something different and get frozen anyway. Yeah. So like either way, it's like a catch-22 for the opponent, but at least that's the way that it seems to me. I don't know. But,
right.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying now. I didn't.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
There is a case where Naobito can freeze as well, though.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, I love the offensive case where I love how it says, if the laws of physics are ignored excessively, you know, now Naobito will take a penalty, which means he literally can break the laws of physics a little bit. You know what I mean? AKA, he can like look ahead and he'll be like, in these frames, I'm gonna be here, 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 here. You know what I mean? He can jump around in those frames, and so like he can't like go, you know, maybe a mile. He can see like you're in a tower, right? You can see the entire city. He can't like immediately teleport in one frame to like the edge of a city, but he can definitely teleport faster than anyone could run or walk or jump.
Yeah.
Right.
to bend it
except
a
for
little bit.
Gojo somehow. That's so crazy.
Well, Gojo just still different types of ability. I feel
like he's moving on physical prowess, right? Like, is Gojo using an ability to move? I don't think so. Actually, maybe he is using.
I
think he might be. Yeah.
He's moving himself with limitless, I guess. Like,
I mean, if he can push away things coming at him, he can push himself away from things that are stationary.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
I feel like we may have gotten dialogue on how he actually does that.
You might be right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
will say generally the exposition for Naobito's ability, it's very difficult for me to grok in terms of like it seems, I don't know, it's just very complicated and very specific, and I wish I knew Japanese so I could read the official, language, because like I'm just like, is this really what this is completely? I kind of mostly get it, but like it's very
it feels like there's a rule or two missing there, like, or just a little bit just clarifying exactly what's happening, maybe. Like what
who cares if he doesn't have an arm? Like, why can't he? Is it just that he's taken damage and so he's a little like sluggish and slow because of the damage? Like, what does his arm have to do with anything?
Or he can't create two sets of frame manipulations, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, now I'm wondering, did it say which hand he touches with him? No, just the palm. Yeah, so like...
but now he
only has one option as opposed to two options.
Well, yeah, because I think that's putting it on your enemy and putting it on yourself at the same time, right?
Sure.
So now he, with one arm, he has to choose now whether it's himself or the enemy, which is now a huge nerf to him, definitely.
Sure.
It's just so funny that Jogo finally got this little combo off that he tried to like hit on Jogo or on Gojo in like chapter 15. Like he tried to use this exact same move that he used on Naobito on Gojo and got interrupted and countered. And like now we're finally seeing him like seeing what this ability like really does when he's not fighting
the volcanoes out of the wall.
Yeah,
right?
the volcanoes out of the wall. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
God damn.
So,
but man, I feel like we've covered everything in this chapter except for the.
I got some stuff before.
The beginning.
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't talk about Toji. Well, because the end and the beginning, obviously, there's two big things.
Like
we haven't talked. Yeah.
Bro, I just knew he was gonna go straight for Megumi after Dagon, bro.
Ooh, I have things to say about that. Now, let's think of
I'll just say this right away. I think there's a little bit of credence to what you guys are talking about with Toji retaining a good bit of his consciousness here, because if he really is just like instinctually going after the strongest dude around,
Jogo,
he literally pulled him outside. We got the panel of Megumi saying, "Who the hell is this guy?" The next panel is Jogo fucking shit up.
That's literally what I was gonna say.
He just was.
It's like
there's no way he's instinctually going around the strongest guy.
Right. It's like Toji saved Megumi. Toji saved Megumi by pulling him out of the situation. He saw it coming, and it's like, you know what I mean?
So
like,
that means that he knows that he couldn't have handled Jogo.
No, he's trying to save Megumi.
But I mean, if he's there and if he's there, Megumi's there, and Jogo's there, why couldn't he save Megumi from Jogo instead of taking him away from the situation, unless he's scared of Jogo to some degree, or he thinks
that's what he's saying. That's what Nick's saying, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he's. I maybe think that he could take him one-on-one, but like it's just too risky. It's too risky to let there be a target. You know what I mean? Like much safer to just take him away.
Toji can't take Jogo unless Megumi is using his domain to cancel. Because territory domain expansion, like Jogo's gonna wash Toji with that, right?
Yeah,
like,
but I feel like Toji could, like, if he really does have it, Toji could easily just blitz Jogo before he can get a domain off.
Man, Jogo's been seen to be very fast, and obviously Toji is now the fastest. The fastest that isn't, I guess, Naobito or Gojo as far as humans go. Probably the third fastest, then, right? He's definitely moving. Shit, Megumi don't even know he got Apollo yanked off the stage, and he was already outside. And like
exit stage left.
and so I mean, I will definitely grant that it's very, very, very likely that Jogo would beat Toji. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think Toji's afraid of him. I just think that Toji, if he has consciousness and he's trying to save Megumi, it's more that he's just like, what's the easiest way to protect Megumi? Not defend him against Jogo, but just leave the situation entirely. You know what I mean? That's the safest route here.
Yeah, well, that's true. But if that is the case, then is that instinctual or is that cognitive?
That's a great question.
That's what Eagle's talking about. Right. More credence to the conscious now.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I know that they're hyping up that he's just like a fighting doll. I know that they're hyping up that the dialogue is implying like you know, like this is just a puppet, you know, that goes purely on instinct. But I feel like there's so many examples of that not being the case now at this point.
Well,
that, like,
right when
it's
it
like
was
a
repeated
subversion
in
of-
this chapter, it was contradicted.
Well, and once rules are maybe not broken, but kind of maybe a little to the wayside. I mean, obviously there's firm rules for the seance to happen, but you know, Toji is an exception to those rules and has sent this, you know, Jutsu Shiki, you know, just off its rails now. And so like, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that Toji's gaining consciousness back as he goes, or has just whatever, like 10% consciousness, 20% consciousness, just enough to make some decisions that are really needed to be made. And then the rest is still autopilot. But I also think Jogo could have also just waited and didn't do that until he saw, you know, and maybe that's Jogo's reaction. And not Toji's reaction to Jogo. I mean, it could be vice versa.
Okay, so like if Jogo did just wait, then that means that there could still be a possibility that Toji grabbed Megumi because he was the next strongest and wants to separate him. And if he is, or at least, you know, the biggest Juryoku pool, which would make sense because Megumi's the only other one with a domain there. So like, so I mean,
and
like,
everyone else is like tired from the fight or whatever.
They're physically
drained or whatever.
They're physically and, you know, Juryoku drained. Where Megumi's just, you know, Juryoku drained a little bit.
But he still has his reserve. Like he still has he still has his maximum amount there. Probably triggering the
I think that's the only explanation that like saves the narration. Not to say that the narration must be true, but like, geez, like they've said this twice now, this puppet of carnage, like, and what reason does the narration have to lie? You know what I mean? So either it's exactly as you're saying, and that's why he took Megumi out, and of course instinctually, like, let's one-on-one, better, it's smarter than a 4v1 or 3v1 or whatever, right? So like that's why you take him away, but like, it really feels like there's more to it.
I think if anything, it was Toji's reaction to getting out of there. Because if you look at the paneling now, he kills Dagon, the domain drops, we get the inner monologue from Nanami saying about how if Fushiguro hadn't showed up, then we get the panel of his face. The panel right under him is Dagon
dead,
being ignited by Jogo. You can hear the whoosh sound effect that is used for every other time in this chapter that Jogo does a sound effect. In the next panel of Toji walking away, he's burning and it looks exactly like every other time someone's getting crisped up. And then the next panel, you know, the ensuing panels are him jumping out of the window. Right after he gets yanked out the window, Maki shouts Megumi. Jogo's already behind her.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because when I saw Dagon engulfed or whatever, or you know, on fire,
I kind of assumed that was just him like burning away on some.
I just thought it was the curse had died. The curse. He's dead. He evaporates.
The body degenerates and
yeah, like in a video game or something, you know.
That's what
I totally agree with you. Like, wow, like
the whoosh,
that probably was Jogo.
That's another huge.
The whoosh is the key.
I mean, it is a
that's another huge nod to Jogo's strength in this chapter too, is that he would casually could just go out there and start burning away Dagon. Everyone's standing there. They just killed him. He just strolls out, or blitzes out, I guess, whatever, and just starts burning him in front of everybody. You know. So like that's kind of a little bit of a flex there, that he's just gonna he's like, fuck what y'all are doing. I'm gonna cremate my mans real quick, say some words, and then we gonna get this shit cracking. You feel me?
And that's I will say that like
go ahead. The only thing I would say against that is that the sound effect when Dagon is you know, burning or whatever is different than the sound effect when Jogo uses his ability. Jogo uses ability, it's
later in the
bow, you know. Bow, B-O-U or whatever, and it's like boof. And this one is like what is it? Zeph, like whoosh.
One is boof.
But they're all boof. They're all when he's attacking people, it's all
one
boof.
Is
and this is whoosh.
And then
I don't know. So it's
the girls is whoosh.
Oh, there's also that one?
This,
no, it's both. It's both.
How about this dialogue that we have here from Jogo as he's sending Dagon off? He says, "Leave the rest to me. Our souls will continue to circulate regardless of humanity's fate. we'll meet again in the wastelands 100 years from now.
I was gonna ask the same question because that's serious. Like
Super
that's some shit.
That's a big deal. So like obviously as curses, they understand how like the reproductive and or recycling, you know, of curses like goes. Like obviously if these people are killed, the fear of their respective elements are going to continue, meaning that they could easily just pop up again every so often. Maybe 100 years is the amount of time that it takes to be reborn as a curse of whatever, you know, maybe that's
well, maybe
there. Yeah,
just Jogo knows, or not just but Jogo and Brain-kun. I feel like Mahito wouldn't care, but it's just Jogo is the most intellectually advanced one. I guess that's not Brain-kun, right? And you can, there's just an argument to say that they're basically on equal terms. You know, maybe Brain-kun is the leader and the one who's like making the plan, I guess, but it's not like Jogo's just being led around, right? Like he's got his own plans, his own goals, like he's doing this shit for his own reasons. So like, I just wonder if it just begs the question, like, are we going to see curses ever again that are as intellectually advanced as Brain-kun and Jogo? Like, because Hanami and Dagon are not. They were not. They were just, you know, almost
just going
robots.
with the flow.
I mean, they were just what they were.
Dagon was pretty smart, I feel like.
Hanami was cognizant as fuck. He just couldn't speak.
Yeah, he just had a weird language, a plant language or something.
And Dagon also is really cognizant and also could speak.
Yeah,
it's true, but it's true. But they both don't. They're not seen at the table with fucking Brain-kun and Mahito kicking plan. You know, like and maybe Hanami
Mahito
was a little bit,
or not Mahito.
Exactly.
I think Hanami
always was.
But I think he's just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I don't think he has much to like input to put into the deliberation. He's just there because he's a part of the team.
And both of them, Hanami and Dagon, both feel like they are closer to their element. Like, obviously, Jogo is obviously a volcano man, and he's a fire guy, and that's what it's going to be. But he's a hothead, and that does, you know, reflect on his character. But that's not like what defines him in this story thus far. Where Hanami and Dagon are both defined by the ocean and the forest. Like that's what they are. You know,
for them, I feel like their motivations seem to be more in tune with their element. Like Hanami was like, you humans, you know, or at least I got the vibe. Maybe there was dialogue, I forget, but like, you humans like destroying the planet. Like I'm gonna destroy you.
Definitely on that.
And Dagon also kind of was like, you know, like, oh, I'm of the ocean, from the ocean, like the ocean's gonna kill you or whatever. It's their motivations seem more in tune with their.
And we never get like dialogue
source.
from Jogo that's like burn to a crisp, you all, or like he doesn't say anything fire related. He doesn't have any fire-based dialogue.
Humans are destroying the forests. Humans are destroying the ocean. Humans aren't destroying volcanoes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like there's Jogo is not in danger. The mountains are not in danger, you know, in our world. Maybe mining, but like that's pretty minor in terms of comparing it to like the oceans dying. You know what I mean?
Our planet is going
active volcanoes.
Well, and our planet is going to have magma in it until it freezes and gets blown up. Yeah, exactly. Like the ocean can definitely be polluted, and a lot of terrible shit can happen to the ocean, and we just cut the fucking forest down every day all over the fucking globe. So like the volcano is not shit. The volcano is the one that fights back.
And in that sense, like in that sense, Jogo, I totally agree with you. Jogo does seem to have a more strategic, like plan-based motivation than the other curses.
For sure.
Yeah.
So to go back to what you were saying about the reproductive cycle, though, I think if anybody, Mahito does seem just as likely to know about it, just because of how much
I mean, if they're all kicking it, and
we haven't gotten this in a while, but he's got a lot of dialogue about like the soul,
with each other.
the body. You know, he has a lot of information on how that shit works, the soul and the body, and I feel like he's the type of character to know some shit.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right.
Like,
even though he's kind of unhinged and crazy.
I feel like we've seen 100 years like multiple times, like brought up in regard to curses and curse energy and sorcerers and whatnot. I feel like there's like a reason why 100 years specifically is a time limit. You know what I mean? And obviously I don't think we have enough information really, and I can't remember any of the other times specifically where, but I know that we've seen dialogue talking in relation to curses at the very least in 100-year increments. So like that just leads me to think that like even if a curse does, you know, a curse is born based on these fears or whatever, you know, amalgamation of emotions that spawn them, you know, like, and then they die, like, it might take 100 years for that curse to be recycled again into a form like this, you know what I mean? So that's really cool to see. I don't know what kind of significance that'll have later, but I mean, obviously M.A.N.G.A is specifically like putting these time limits out and putting these, you know, these increments of, you know, of time into the story. So I don't know what kind of, you know, significance that'll have, but
it's definitely been in increments of 100. Now I don't know if 100 was ever used exactly, but I feel like there was a 200 year ago and a 300. I'm pretty sure 300 year ago was the Noritoshi Kamo, like the original one. And then Sukuna's like 1,000 years ago, right? Like, I don't know.
There was another 100 year time.
Yeah.
That specifically in the story, and I feel like I just saw someone.
Is that maybe Is that maybe Mekamaru Kokichi's like 100 years ago? His clan developed Simple Domain. Maybe there was some time frame on the Simple Domain.
It could be something like that.
Yeah,
but there was at least I don't know. I'll go back and look, and maybe I can bring it up again next week if I remember. But I do remember specifically. I think someone literally just tweeted about how there's like 100-year significance, and there's like a link from like this chapter and then another chapter. That had another 100-year example. Definitely. But I mean, going into the Sukuna shit, I want to go back to the Sukuna shit real quick while I have it in mind. So like, if we get the dialogue here that talks about Megumi's contract with Sukuna, or Megumi's situation with Sukuna, and how like if he gets fed one finger every day for 20 days.
Yuji.
What did I say?
Megumi.
Megumi.
It was off-putting.
So Yuji has Sukuna in there. He has dominion over the body. He has control over the body with Sukuna chilling there. And if he eats a finger every day for 20 days, then he still, you know, controls the body and just gets stronger, we would assume. But if you feed him, you know, 20 fingers all at once, he's going to get, you know, whatever that percentage, I think it's 75% if he eats all of the, you know, like however many fingers that they have. If he eats all of the ones that they have here, he'll get like 75% of Sukuna's power or something like that. But Sukuna will take control of the body back, you know, but he still says, although it would be temporary. So like, even if Sukuna does come out here and run rampant for X amount of time, one thing that I feel like we can be confident that is going to happen, he's going to help with the Brain Kun situation, as my idea that, you know, they have this contract or whatever. The two Ghetto girls made a contract with Sukuna that was like, we're going to get you your control over the body back by feeding him these fingers and ignoring the contract that's currently in place so that you can take the body back over. But while you have control, go ahead and do whatever you want, but figure the Ghetto stuff out for us first. That's like the binding vow that I'm hoping that they do. Yeah, that's the binding vow that I'm hoping that they had in place before they got smoked or before they teleported away or whatever. So I would love to see that there. But ultimately, this is telling me that after this, regardless of what happens with Sukuna, Yuji's going to be so much stronger after this arc because he's eaten all of these fingers, and he's going to get control of his body back by the end of it, because he says it's temporary, that Sukuna is going to get this control of the body back again. So Yuji after this fucking arc is going to be a problem and a half.
I'm wondering about these fingers. It's interesting, the aesthetic of them, right? Because like the top one, if you look at it, it looks like it's got some little plant growing out of it.
We've seen
the second one down,
and you see like the
looks
crystallized
like
one at the bottom,
or something like a crystallized. And then there's cubes on the bottom one. I just wonder.
Well, the first one you see has like a ghoul face on it, like a dead face on it. The very first one you see has like, it's like
the first one that he that is school
mask
kid friends have
the scream mask face,
man. But Jogo had the bitches on chill though. He said
he said
so
but I just said the reason why I was saying what I'm saying is that I'm pretty sure that the climax of this situation, or the overall, you know, like resolution of this arc, is going to come down to Sukuna versus the main event is going to be Sukuna Yuji versus
main brain.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like that's going to be like what we can hope to, you know, be like a protagonist like win to some degree, is a final fight with Yuji Sukuna versus, because before, like, we didn't fucking know what the fuck was gonna happen. If everyone's getting smoked like this, like Yuji gets fucking beat up by Choso. Okay, so Yuji's out of here. Nobara has obviously been out of the story for a little bit. Like Maki and all of these people are now fried, and I'm like, how the fuck are they going to do anything? You know, you got Kisakabe and Panda over here. You got Inumaki running around, probably going to go grab the Kyoto kids. You got Mekamaru with one AirPod left. He said he needs some other shit that he has to go do. So you can assume that reinforcements are coming. But I mean, like, are those reinforcements going to be able to do anything against these characters that are systematically taking out the strongest people we understand in this series so far on the protagonist side. So Sukuna Yuji being the final, or the final, hope for, the protagonist side is just becoming way more likely to me through binding vow contract kind of
stuff. Or Toji Megami. Toji Megami, I think, is another big hope.
Yeah, or Toji. Yeah. Or Boogie Woogie Hours.
Or I was finna say Aura.
You know what I'm saying? So, but the dialogue you're talking about here with Brain-kun, where he says if he were to consume 10 fingers at once, he probably wouldn't be able to counteract it. And although temporary, he would lose control of his body to Sukuna. So there's 10 fingers on here. So, but he was just fed another one. So they'd be 11 fingers, So like,
that's right.
He that basically ensures that he's going to Sukuna berserk, I feel like. But we also got to take into account, does the other 3 fingers that he ate prior to this, so he's eating 3 fingers before this arc, so now 4 with what he was just fed by the ghetto
at least
girls.
4. We don't know how many that was, but at least 4.
But we don't know if those girls fed him more than one. Sure,
right? At least one though. They did at least.
And he was like, "How many fingers you feed this motherfucker?"
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, "I ain't telling you." Yeah.
So, I mean,
so that if it is like 14. If it's 14 out of 20, like what percentage of Sukuna's strength is that?
Sure.
Well, and I was even thinking, like, does the 3 that he's already ate and assimilate with his body, does that counteract 3? Does that like subtract 3 off that he eats just because he's already gained resistance? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that he does not berserk. Like I'm trying to like work myself here into a circle because it's like I don't want him to Sukuna berserk. Like I want him to heal. I want him to maybe not even heal immediately. I want him still to be out of the story, at least for a good period of time. But somebody's going to have to come in here and do something, obviously, in order for that to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe even if he does Sukuna berserk, just maybe for like a little tiny bit, he gets control quickly and just enough to get Jogo out of there. And then
why does Jogo think that as soon as Sukuna wakes up, he's not going to fucking evaporate him?
Right.
Is he just like ready to die here? Is he just ready to like I don't understand what Jogo's like.
Well,
maybe it's been explained earlier.
Yeah, but isn't his motivation only to release Sukuna?
Revive Sukuna.
Yeah. Right, so what, he's just going to run? Like, you think you're outrunning Sukuna?
Like, he's done.
He's okay with dying.
He's okay.
Yeah, and there was this conversation with Mahito, and Mahito's like, I actually don't care either way if Sukuna gets revived, but Jogo was like, I'm pretty sure on the side of, I definitely want Sukuna revived. That's his point.
It was for sure. I definitely remember that.
Yeah, because it was Jogo said he wanted him revived. It was Choso and who else that said they wanted to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then it was Mahito was like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's right. And Sukuna is very self-serving, right? Like he doesn't have alliances to nobody. He's never going to. Like he's only coming out and just indiscriminately fucking people up, right? Like basically, like he don't care, curse, human, whatever. I mean, it's kind of hard to maybe speculate that far, but like what we've seen of his character so far, like that's what I'm sure most people infer. He's not going to be coerced in any way, right? Like I don't see Brain-kun talking to Sukuna and be like, hey man, get down on the team, and Sukuna's like, all right, bet, no, it's not gonna happen,
going down like that.
Look, so I don't know, it's hard to say where this is going to go. But I still just on the side, I don't want Yuji to Sukuna berserk. Like I just don't.
I feel like honestly I feel like it would be an appropriate time, because I mean, like, how many times has he been activated so far? We have the first time that he came out where he just killed Yuji. And then the second time we've seen him in any semblance or in any resemblance of taking over him attacking Mahito. So I mean you have even if he does activate here, I feel like it's not too often that he's doing this. So I feel like it would be fine if he came out and did some shit, in a positive way, for the story. So
positive in the story. It could be negative for a lot of our characters, but as long, and if it happens, I'm okay. Like I'm gonna be okay with it. Like I'm sure Gege is gonna do a good job. Like if it happens, so like I'm not really like super worried.
It's all the execution, exactly.
Yeah, it's all on execution. And
100%.
And after this, if Sukuna berserks for a little bit, fucks some shit up, progresses the story, where we need it to go, everything makes sense, and then does get relegated again,
Yeah, he would have to, because that's the temporary part.
Well,
Yuji's going to get control of the body back.
But
eventually.
I mean, almost permanently, like relegated at that point. Where like he burst out. This is his one time that he's gonna get to berserk and go crazy. Like,
exactly, because after this, he'll have like say at least 14 fingers.
Yep.
You can't give him another 10 to go berserk. There's only 20, right? Totally.
Yeah.
Right. So like this is the one shot they have to make him go berserk.
Yeah, and not even, you know, obviously with the rules given, sure, like that makes sense that he couldn't go berserk again, but I don't know, who knows? It's
using fingers. I mean, sure, there could be other rules or something.
I mean, Yuji could just straight up like just like make a new deal with him, and let him do it. Yeah.
So does Sukuna just fucking like Chimera Ant like falling snow and fucking rock everybody in the entire fucking city right now and just end it all?
That would be fucking crazy.
Chimera Ant King shit, boy.
Yeah, when he absorbs like poof and has like the fucking
just
like,
runs through the entire subway system at light speed and just knocks everybody out.
The spiritual message infused N, where he just like the spores touch you and he knows where you are and he teleports directly to you and fucking I remember that scene. Oh my god, that would be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I hope really that don't happen either. But I mean,
right.
I don't. Well, and I don't know. Like if I saw him just like smash and just bust through the bedrock all the way to the fucking ground level and then start fucking the city up, I'd be happier with that than him running through the subway and fucking our characters up. Like maybe one or two.
The antagonist, or wait, or just our characters up, or just like
no, just
our team.
Our team,
the good guys.
Our team.
Our guys.
What are you saying, Eagle?
I was just wondering, like so you're saying you want him to just go berserk on the city and start fucking shit.
Just to not.
I mean, hey. Just so it's not like a just to be truly berserk, go crazy, do a bunch of stuff, whatever, and not like a controlled berserk.
Not like Sukuna is definitely calculated as fuck.
Yeah, he's got to have a plan too, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When he comes out, he's got his own motivations and his own entertainments.
But he knows he only has such a small time limit. I mean, the whatever heavenly vow or whatever binding vow or whatever.
He's probably gonna be like, all right, where's Megumi at?
I mean, he's not worried about the time limit really, because I mean, he settled on Yuji that he would only come out for a minute at a time type shit.
Exactly right.
So he's not worried about.
Well, yeah. I guess time.
He knows he can fuck some shit up in just a minute.
And and sure, he definitely does. But does the time limit actually even matter if Yuji eats 10 fingers and goes, you know, as Sukuna takes over?
Yeah,
like maybe
those
rules no longer apply.
No, the time.
That's
only. Didn't they say explicitly that they're defying that?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Because
exactly.
Right. So I mean, I don't think he would be confined to
just
any specific amount of time. Yeah, or the minute.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think it'll be a completely new set of a completely new situation that we have no information to try to guess.
All we have to go off of is that they said it would be temporary. We have no
that's literally
idea as to how long.
Right.
And mainly what I'm saying is I don't want him to encounter characters that he doesn't kill, right? And so like I don't need him to kill everybody running through the subway, right? Like I just feel like if he encounters characters and he doesn't kill them, that's kind of soft for me. Like that's why are you out here? Why are you? What's the
why
big
are
deal?
why are we worried about you coming out? Yeah,
exactly. People got to die. Like anybody who encounters him should die, you know. And so that's just why I don't want him going rampaging through the fucking subway, killing all our people, you know. Like it's either that or he doesn't kill people, and you're like, what the, you know, I don't know, you know.
Right.
We'll see who he.
So
he does decide to kill.
We literally have not talked about Toji obliterating Dagon, and we need to talk about it. I can't have this.
We can't move on. We can't move on without it. He uses the exact same.
He broke Playful Cloud. He literally broke Playful Cloud into two pieces. He broke the chain in between them, and oh my god, this! Wow.
We see that. Like that's his forte, dude. Like when he fucking
I get it, but like when I was reading it, I was like, what?
When he had the inverted spear of heaven and he was fighting Gojo, hits him through the fucking jugular, stabs him in like the femoral artary like 19 times, stabs him in the fucking forehead. Like that's his whole fucking shit. And
bro, that was one hand that time. This time he's double fisting it. Just straight up. Well, and the fact that he hoed Dagon so hard. Like my man said,
he was like, it's
not over. Got straight. Oh my
That was
God.
funny, and it's crazy that this chapter started off so wild, and my mouth dropped instantly, and then it never closed through the whole shit.
Yeah.
I'm reading the whole thing.
Exactly how I was thinking to describe this chapter.
When are we gonna get something that's not blowing me away right here? This is all so much. This is crazy. This is a super hype chapter. Like it's crazy too that I feel like Chainsaw Man is still a better chapter than this one. Like,
Wow, really?
Ooh.
I don't know.
To me,
can't wait to get there.
This is the chapter.
I know it's very close.
Dude,
It's
3
very
weeks in a
splitting hairs.
row,
for an
Jujutsu
hour.
Kaisen is number 1. That's wild.
Yeah.
For
It's
just
splitting hairs,
just over
but
100
yeah.
chapters, and there's crazy shit going on throughout all of Jump. You know what I mean? Like, and like for me to put like Jujutsu Kaisen chapters above like what's going on in My Hero Academia right now is just like a testament to like how crazy of an arc M.A.N.G.A is writing right now.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
Honestly, everything in Jump
dude.
is going crazy right now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
As far as like the events of the arc, you know.
Yeah.
Whether you agree that it's sweet, you know, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the events of the arc, everything's kind of popping off right now in every book, man.
Yeah, dude,
absolutely.
for real. But yeah, that's all I had.
But yeah, that's all we had for Jujutsu.
Yes,
man,
sir.
hitting 3 weeks in a motherfucking row.
I don't think it's gonna
With
stop.
that,
No.
Right.
all right, well, with that, then we can go ahead and get right into chapter 74 of Chainsaw Man.
Ready for
What
it.
the waves say.
Let's go, dude.
This was an
What a
awesome
chapter.
too.
What a chapter.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the biggest. I mean, this is just so big. Like, just I mean, I don't want to jump right to the end. So, like, right from the beginning, I was just
Do
saying,
your thing, bro. But I just gotta say,
Hey.
Makima thick than a.
Boy, that booty looking.
You can sit a cup on that motherfucker, bro.
I mean,
You can sit a
Jeez,
couple things on there. Hold on.
And before you get too crazy, I'm gonna just go ahead and say, you know what I'm saying, it's looking like your boy Eagle might be a little clairvoyant with the human devil theory. I don't
Okay.
know.
all right. I'd like,
Okay.
I'd like to
Obviously
hear.
on some shit. She is some type of devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
A lot
I mean,
of
just like kind of
speculation for that. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Aki telling Angel, hey, you know, me and Kishibe put in a good word for you, so you can like just become it, basically an imprisoned devil, like Future Devil was.
Right. To contract with people.
To just contract with people. Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you know, that's gonna go into a little bit more about what I have to say later. You know, I'm gonna.
But it's crazy. It's crazy that like Aki's saying, you know, like, oh, you normally in this situation, like you got your arms cut off, like you're a devil, we'd probably put you down like a dog. It's like, what the fuck, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that they've been setting that like precedent throughout the entire series, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we haven't like really seen it like be put into action ever. It's always just been talk. You know what I mean? Like Denji, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Power doesn't do what we say, we're gonna fucking kill her. You know what I'm saying? Like if these fiends don't you know adhere to our will, then they just die. But like no one's ever really done that yet. You know what I mean? But we know that that's a thing. Yeah.
Just the language of being put down,
I know,
like,
dude,
like
it's
an
so-
animal, like so harsh, so
macabre.
savage. Macabre,
Yeah.
So Makima having this much clothes on at the beach is questionable. Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
and just
Why
that
are
you're
you
talking
in a-
about and
why are you
talking
in a
about her
trench coat?
thickness, and it's like
I can't
she
get
broke
over
the
it, bro. She
panel.
probably taller when she sits down. You feel me?
She broke the paneling structure for that. Even they had to make sure. But
But why is she so clothed at the beach?
she's
that is-
always very
It's
clothed.
always and I feel like that's like Fujimoto. Like I don't know, man. I don't want to like say that's him trying to like say something, but I feel like he's always showing Makima like doing like weird ass like shit, like to let it to reinforce in our minds that like this is not a normal, like this is some other shit you're dealing with here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
well, and just
it's the
for
little things.
I mean, and just how, you know, you get a couple like cover pages where, you know, like they're showing some Makima off or whatever. And that's why I'm like, that's why it's notable that they would have covers with that, but never in the manga itself.
Right.
And is she ever anywhere near scantily clad? She is always very covered all the way to hands, you know, like, you know, fully covered, right? So
okay.
that's I feel like there's something there, you know, and I feel like
Traditional.
I mean, I can just go
Traditional.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I could just go into it here. I may.
Just get in there. I see.
Go
I can see where you're going.
crazy, bro.
I can see where you're going.
Dancing around the fucking bush
because it's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
Jesus Christ.
And if you don't give us the theories, that's why you're here, okay? Give us the goddamn theories, okay? Do your job.
I know. If I don't, I'm gonna be the meme where I'm just thrown into the GIF where I'm thrown into the dumpster.
No Chainsaw Man theory from Kiko this week? Get him out of here.
In the dumpster.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that I was on the right path with when we talked about her being the perception devil. You know, I feel like I was on the right path with that, and that I'm going to maybe tweak it a little bit to be like the authority devil.
Authority.
Ooh.
Yes, that's literally what I thought too. Yep.
Authority or justice/judgment devil.
Yes. Yes.
There's those are all very intertwined, and I mean,
authority can give you orders, but also a judge can give you orders.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I mean?
I feel like she's wearing clothes similar to what a judge would wear on the beach.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's even though it's. I looked up what Japanese judges wear, and it's similar to what our judges wear, actually.
Sure.
And I didn't think that it would be as close, and obviously she's not wearing a robe. She's just wearing like an all black dress, which, I mean, I don't know, like that's still very close, right? And it's weird. What I think about when I think about just this dress personally, like I don't really have it tying into my whole thing, because like just going through her abilities, control over animals and people, obviously, right? So and we already get now she's ordering people. They need to follow her order, and she's, and just to even take that back towards the beginning where it's like Aki must have been under her spell the entire time, right? And has been ordered, and because Himeno
he has
really
no reason to still like fuck with her, you know what I mean? He's so skeptical of her. We have so much dialogue where he's saying like something's not right here, but then M.A.N.G.A is like, you like her, don't you? And he's like, yeah. And it's like, why? Still, like, you still, like, you.
Why? Why
he doesn't.
Why do I like her?
And he doesn't even know.
It's like,
So it's like an ability. Yeah.
Oh,
dude, you want to know what? So like, okay, sorry, real quick. I just want to interject.
No, go ahead.
While I have it in mind.
Jump in.
So fiends, I think, are specifically the ones that like look like humans but have like some kind of like mutation in their head that lets you know that they're half devil, right? But and so we're saying that that Makima is like a tried and true devil, or are we saying she's a fiend?
Or
what?
Straight devil.
Because like I was thinking like she doesn't have anything like
you can't make a contract with a fiend.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking here. But I'm trying to think back to like why her eyes look like that. And I was thinking like maybe if she was a fiend, like her eyes like looking the way that they do could be like an indicator that she's a fiend or something.
That could be her only head mutation she has is just her eyes.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I think that's a great point.
But I think she's a full on devil, and so like Himeno really cared and loved Aki, wanted to be with Aki, and he totally brushed her off. And obviously, you know, you can just say he didn't like her, whatever, I guess. But just from the beginning, you can see these seeds planted. This whole thing too, like where Aki is coming up to Angel, and Angel's like, and he's saying, hey, you should just be a contract prisoner for us instead of having us kill you. And maybe maybe they wouldn't kill him. I mean, I assume that they would, or maybe they feel like he could get away. Like he's got a really fucking strong ability. I don't know if he has no arms. Can he actually like do it anymore? I'm not sure. So if he touched you with a bare foot,
he seems like he's saying that he's like useless now that he has no arms.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It does,
he's like, what can I do? I have no arms. I'm just sitting here. I'm Bob Oblong. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I what do I do? Like,
if people touch him and they still die, though, right?
Yeah, I feel like if you touch his skin, he probably. But
it's always been with a hand touch that you see him doing any kind of damage.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it
true.
is. And like he's actually taking Aki's life when Aki's about to be sucked into the fucking typhoon devil. He's grabbing him and he's like, I shouldn't grab you because you're dying now because I'm trying to save you. So I feel like you're right. They did.
But could it be skin though? Could it be skin? Do we know it?
Could it be skin? We don't know that, but it does stand like to reason that we've only seen hand touches.
Totally agree with that.
But yeah, you're right. There's no for sure way we could say, you know, either way. But
I totally see what you're saying with like Aki. Is Aki's entire hospital visit with M.A.N.G.A, you know, like is he basically just saying what Makima would say? Because think about this, right? Like, You have an angel who say is useless, but is a kind of a sentient being that can go do whatever they want. And Aki is giving two options. You're either gonna die because that's just how it works. Whatever, I can't really do much about it. Or you could do exactly what Maki would want you to do and be a slave and be a contracting devil or whatever in a locked up prison cell. Why didn't he bring up, you should just get out of here?
Yeah.
Go run away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He didn't even consider.
He didn't even.
Angel says that to him.
Oh my God, bro!
And Angel says that to him. That you
Angel
could
says,
run away.
"Get out,
Exactly.
run."
Exactly.
Yo.
And so you think like power, even power, I feel like has been controlled by, and I really think Denji is not, and a hybrid cannot. And he's simply, you're seeing Denji stray away from Makima, still a little tied. And obviously she saved him and made him kind of everything he is in his life. So like, even if he doesn't like see her romantically anymore, like he's still gonna feel maybe a little obligated towards her, you know, in a bunch of ways, really. But you see him still now, no, fucking some of this shit ain't right, basically.
Right.
So but power, the whole cat thing to begin with, like the cat getting fucking kidnapped by the Bat Devil or whatever and being used as fucking a hostage to get power to lure him, Denji, like that meeting, I mean, is it fate that happened that way? Or did Makima plan them to meet that way? And her cat, Nayako, is probably fucking spying. Makima spies on him with their cat 100% of the time. 100% of the time.
Yo.
Yeah. So it's the cat obviously is not there for no reason, you know? Like,
Bro.
So that's just the first ability she's got that we've seen that fits with authority. Second one, like an eye for the eye, like a justice scales kind of thing. Like that's why I was kind of saying maybe like justice or judgment as well. You know, she gets shot on the train. I think here with authority too, can even have authority over her own destiny and negate things that actually happened to her damage. And because she keeps coming back unscathed after getting fucked up multiple times. And she did reflect those bullet shots, but they were bigger on the assassins in the train.
Which is like retribution, which can also be tied into justice.
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
And so the Quan Chi dies the exact same way she killed devil hunters. So it's exactly the same. She beheaded all them devil hunters that were in the public safety, and she got beheaded the exact same way. And Makima said the exact same words that they said to her people. You know, it's been eye for an eye type of, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And reflects darkness devil ability by pointing back at him, you know, like it's gotta be like I still feel like I want to go with authority, but the next
justice, I think justice also works. Works.
They're tied hand to hand, right?
Yeah.
Like
the two sides of the same coin for sure.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And like crush, her crush ability, she needs the names of those who she's judging. She needs to know their names because a judge has to render a verdict on you.
I like that a lot. Wow.
Yeah. And she needs lives as payment to use this against those people, which represents equivalent exchange, like justice, scales of justice are
balancing the scales.
Balancing the scales. Yeah. So I feel like that all, and just her complete authority, like, even though she does have higher ups, which is kind of weird, but I don't know.
Who's to say that those higher ups aren't just there to like throw the scent off?
Yeah, exactly. And are all under her control. None of them know it, and they're all, going about their business of being, crooked billionaire world, dominators. And
wow, dog.
Yeah. So, man, it's the other thing too. Her her allies had to be blindfolded while she uses her abilities because of a couple of reasons. Like you could think like, okay, obviously blind justice, the blindfold symbolizes the justice, but
oh man,
also when they see her use her ability, it might overwrite or cancel whatever control or authority she has on them right then and there. So they can't see, or it will negate. And she's had on Yoshida, she's had on Kishibe, she's had on Kurose, she's had it on Tendo, she's had like all these people that are close to her, except for Yoshida's not really, but still, Yoshida is a weird example too, because he took off the blindfold, and he's the only one that makes sense that could take off the blindfold, where it's not going to really bother Makima, even though the ability was done anyway, and he took it off, and Kishibe just decided to keep it on. But even so, he's not close and probably not under her control the same way as you feel like Kishibe would be too, right? Like all of these people, if she's the authority devil and she's casting out control orders on people, like why wouldn't she just have that on basically everybody, you know? Like it's
right.
And it just makes sense that a hybrid, it cannot be used on a hybrid, and because obviously there's Quan Chi, you know, but she didn't really try. I guess it's hard to say whether she never gave an order. We never heard her ever give, you know, because she could have just gave Quan Chi an order right there instead of killed her and used her, right? But no, had to kill her. But I also feel like that has to do with kill the Cosmos devil, because I feel like that devil's just so strong that it was maybe something that could counter Makima, and maybe she wasn't even really aiming for Quan Chi to begin with. She wanted the Cosmos devil out of there.
Sure,
but that's, maybe that's some other speculation. But yeah, I mean, let me see. Did I write anything else down when I was going over this, man? This is crazy. Is Makima going to order Power and Aki to kill Denji? And that's why Denji has to kill them.
Oh.
She can't control Denji because he's a hybrid, but she can control Aki and Power.
So if she wants to say order Denji to kill those two, she can't. But she
it would have to be self-defense.
But she can force his hand in self-defense.
Exactly right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly right.
So, wait. Oh no. Oh no. Bro, imagine if that's what it was. So Makima tells Aki and Power to attack Denji, knowing Denji can kill both of them.
Yes. And we'll have to.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
No.
That's hardcore.
No.
It's
wow.
Well, that's why. So just so we know too, to be clear, when I said last segment, Jujutsu Kaisen, which is one of the most perfect chapters I've ever read in my life, I just said like I still like by a hair.
The predictability, and the conversational strength. The conversational strength that Chainsaw Man has, and they're both very strong books conversationally. Don't get me wrong.
Definitely,
but on two sides of the spectrum, and we say that like every week, because like the conversational strength that Jujutsu Kaisen has is inside of the lore that we have, and the vague exposition that we get isn't. I mean, like there's an abundance of exposition sometimes, and then there's vague exposition that can be tied to the abundance of exposition that we've gotten before. That it makes it easier to map out our predictive segment of coverage of that chapter. But Chainsaw Man is so rompy that it's like I don't fucking know. Like it's all like visual storytelling and guesses, but like there's very small ties to the information that we've gotten in the previous year. So it's not just like blind assumptions. It's definitely very, very well educated guesses, especially on the side of Kiko here. But like, I just feel like because there's so much more unknown in Chainsaw Man, but with so much like logic fueling those unknown predictions, that it makes it so much more mind-blowing when you connect the dots the way that you do. Because it's
and even if you're completely wrong, even if I'm 100%
completely
wrong, the fuck wrong,
it's like how you won't know.
Guy ever.
Like there's no way to know.
And I would still
it makes so much sense right now, dude.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, like how it's so visual. It's like I flipped back and forth between the very last two pages, 18 and 19, because I'm on PC, so I'm flipping between 16 and 17 and 18 and 19 back and forth. The where, oh shit, it's dark now, why is it nighttime? Oh shit, I killed all my people. It's like Makima ordering him, which is crazy though, because he's a devil, And when I'm saying that a hybrid, it's just like, is a hybrid the only one that can't be controlled for some reason? I don't know.
But I mean, weren't you making a point like weeks ago about how like Makima can just control anything that's a lesser intelligent organism than her, including Denji? I think is what you said,
I was saying,
Denji back then.
Yeah, that's definitely I feel like a couple months ago even. But I was saying that psychological dominance puts you above a being, even if you are technically still the same being. And that's when I didn't consider her to be a devil at that time. I considered her to be a human with a contract. That she just has that if you have psychological dominance. But that's. Hey, that was good at the time too. That sounded good at the time too.
That sounded great at the time too. And it's just going back into like the visual storytelling like aspect of the shit. And it's like I feel like I bring up like the facial expressions and the body language that Fujimoto uses, because obviously like one of the main complaints that like we've had, you know, for this series is that it seems like the facial expression or the facial art. I mean, obviously the landscape art is incredible. Obviously the action art is incredible for what Fujimoto is giving us, but like it seems like the facial expression or like the facial art was like lacking. But at the same time, it's like now that we're used to Fujimoto's art style, we see a lot in these facial expressions that have so little detail seemingly.
I have no issue with the facial expressions
me neither.
nowadays.
Me neither. Exactly, because because we understand this art style so much now that we can really see what these characters are feeling inside of these facial expressions that they make, you know, and like even if it's just like subtle like glances back, you know what I mean, like in last chapter, you know, like it would like and I often like attribute it to like Quentin Tarantino like scenes, you know, like in movies where like the 100%. Dialogue is very like Tarantino-esque, just like the atmosphere of the scene. Like you can tell so much in like the body language of like what's going on. And like even in this chapter, like here, like you just get like body positions and like body language that you don't normally see. I think like last chapter there was one where you could just tell how stressed Aki was, because he was like he was like sitting on a bench with like one arm on the bench, like one arm off, and his head was like, you know, like leaned back like that, like, and he was like exhaling and like sighing and shit. Is like you could really feel those emotions, because those are that's body language that we exert all the time when we feel similar things. And it's just like like this dude is so down to earth and like so like aware of like how people are, that like it really shows like in his art. Like even in this like chapter here, like when Makima pulls up, like when they pull up on Makima on the beach, you know what I mean? Like Aki, like as far as we understand him in the story, has always been like a very like stoic, a very, you know, like like low lid expression, like unbothered, you know what I mean? Like he's seen some shit, so like nothing really phases him. Soon as Makima waves at him, he just looks like a fucking simp waving back at him, like he's like, huh? You know what I mean? And it's like these are expressions that like I don't think I've ever seen Aki look like this. You know what I mean? And it's like he does, and the crying scenes with Aki too. It's like there's very little detail here, but there's so emotion. There's so much emotion like in these scenes, because we understand this art style so well now, and it's just like,
the weird thing about this chapter, the what the waves say, you know, like I mean that might not be anything.
Yeah, what's up with that?
But it just, I don't know, maybe
this water looks beautiful.
That's what I was gonna say too. The water's incredible.
I feel like there might be like more conditions to, you know, these abilities, and maybe it has something to do with like, I don't know, just being by the water. I don't know why it would be that way, but I just feel like there's more to this than, you know, like, and just what the waves say. I don't know. I was just trying to like think of that and try to.
That's interesting, because both of the times she has said explicitly, make a contract, or sorry, no, this is an order. When she said this is an order, both of the times she said that was by the water, on the shore, on the shore.
What if she's the siren devil?
Bro.
Oh, wow.
Bro. She does have to be by the sea, because there's that lore of sirens can lead sailors out to sea and make them do anything they want.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
what devil?
Then, so I for the record love that idea.
What is going on, bro?
Now, but why then the retribution type ability? You know what I mean? Where like
could be
you have to have
contracts.
multiple.
Yeah, like she could have contracts. Can't she be a devil and have contracts? You can't be a devil and have contracts?
Not with another devil, I don't think.
We've never gotten
not that we've seen
explicit dialogue that says you can.
Yeah, but we haven't. Have we gotten specific dialogue that says you can't? Because I mean, I feel like if anybody is going to introduce new concepts, you know, that open up our understanding of how this world works, it's going to be through Makima, you would assume, right?
Right.
Or maybe not even that. Like maybe as like, okay, so we saw the darkness devil in hell, but we've never really gotten an example of like a devil of that level on Earth. Like, fuck the contract. As a powerful ass devil, can you just subjugate other devils and say, like, you're doing what the fuck I want you to do?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
When I tell
so it's
you
like the same thing as a contract.
When I say jump, it's how high.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you know, seeing this last panel here and just seeing her treatment of island people, maybe she's the white devil. You know, like.
Or maybe she's like the slavery devil.
I actually do have a serious theory about what the devil could be. Now, for the record, I am very much on Team Kiko here. I do think, Kiko, that you are completely spot on with authority or justice or something like that.
Yeah.
But let me throw a couple extra points into the mix here. Like let's start with in this chapter, you see a lot of panels with Makima and Angemon together. You know, and they actually look very similar.
Yeah, they do.
Like they both have red hair, and it's kind of a very similar haircut and a very similar face. And so
kind of similar eyes too. Look at this one where she says, "Show me your power," and then he looks up, and like they like have like the same eye shape.
Right.
And
same,
except for she's got Rinnegan.
Yeah, she's got Rinnegan.
Now, and so I'm gonna try and go into this theory in a kind of a surprise you way, but you might catch as I'm describing it. So
okay,
human
the best
beings.
example of the panels.
Human beings. Like, okay, first off, we're in a manga with devils, hell, heaven, human beings created in hell and heaven. You have God, human beings created in God's image, angels created in God's image. Angemon looks a lot like Makima. What I'm trying to say here is, could Makima be the God devil, the fear of God? I give you an order, you do what I say.
Yeah,
and then anything she does makes sense. Like literally, she could do anything, and all of these like all of these contradictions to what like abilities that she has that like don't really coincide with theories that we have of what her ability might be. It's just all null and void because she's literally God.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like the devil must have rules. You know what I mean? Like if she was God, like why would she have to do all these plans? You know what I mean? But it could be.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's not that she's God. It's that her power is the fear of God, which many people have. That's got to be a really, really strong devil. And so like, I just feel like that's a possibility. Though again, for the record, I'm on Team Kiko here. I do think it's the authority or justice devil, but like
God though.
Yeah,
because if she was just God, then she could just do whatever.
Right.
No,
it's definitely not God.
She's not God.
And even if she was the God devil, there would be more rules there. She couldn't just do what she wanted, and that could still kind of like explain why she has so many different kinds of abilities. And I mean, like a lot of them are like kind of like tied to like plagues. You know, you have like the rats and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have the you have like the frogs,
rats and frogs. Yeah,
or like controlling people. I think there might be something there with that.
So,
hold on, bro.
I want to say Eagle said something very similar to that though already before.
No,
I don't know. Didn't you say God Devil before? I thought you said God Devil before.
I think it has been brought up in the show.
I think the God Devil came up when we were talking.
Oh, Nostradamus here again. I did it. Yup, me.
Here's my crystal ball is out of the camera view, but it's right here. Okay.
The God Devil came up when we were in hell. Now that I'm thinking of it, like back in those chapters, and I actually do believe it was Noxie that brought it up.
Man.
Regardless, I'm very sure, I'm very positive someone on this show brought up the God Devil or the concept of the God Devil before. But I'm just saying, like this chapter
now
made me think
you
even
got
more.
Good reason, especially with how they look. I mean, it's that's a pretty good indication that obviously an angel devil and a God devil, and they basically related, basically the same thing. Like
and I feel like the best example, the best page to look at to see really how similar they actually do look is page 10. There's the long panel of Makima with the short panel of Angemon right next to it. You can can see their faces side by side.
Yeah, isn't that the one that I said?
Page 10.
Page 10.
The one where Aki's crying. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Aki's crying. So
And Angemon in that panel just looks exactly like Makima.
Yeah, their facial expression and everything is the same.
Yeah, the facial expression, everything. Yeah, no, that's a great example. Yep.
Bro, they have the same nose, the same eye shape, the same ears, the same hair.
Yeah.
The idea
same
I had
facial
earlier.
shape.
The idea I had earlier was like, the Satan devil, like Lucifer. Lucifer is also an angel. You know what I mean? And like, and maybe
How
that
is
explains
Satan
why
not
they're
like final boss of the story?
Yeah,
Makima,
Bro,
final boss of the story.
on.
Yes,
But in terms of,
Makima's
like-
final
But then if
She's got it
Satan's the
right.
final boss, then it's almost guaranteed that God is going to be involved.
Final
in this
boss,
shit too.
because
yeah.
even-
And that's why I feel like, in terms of like giving people orders and controlling animals and stuff, and it just feels like more like it could be God as opposed to Satan. But like, yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited to get more of this shit.
And
Holy
like that's
shit.
why I was leaning that way too, at least at some point, because like I wanted to say authority was the first one I wanted to use. Then I was saying justice, and then I had judgment. Like judgment is
And judgment's like God. God
is a
judgment.
God. Yeah, definitely. That's what. And I just
So it could be like
either one.
It could
I
be like
really
a
could.
judge, jury, executioner relationship inside of her justice,
Right.
and that could be like the difference in abilities that we've seen her use, all coinciding inside of that exact same concept. Wow,
Yeah.
bro.
Yep.
Bro.
So
And like why did Angemon and Aki even come to the beach? Aki asked, "Why are you here? It seems weird that you should be here. Shouldn't you be preparing for the mission or something?" But he's here. Like, what do you mean? Why are you here? Why are you here?
Yeah.
and the other thing,
And if God is subtly telling you what to do, maybe that's why you're here.
Bro, wait a minute, bro.
and I just thought about something too. Makima
What
keeps
is going
promising
on?
Denji they're going to, Enoshima or whatever, a beach resort. So like, is that why she's bringing him there to
Beach.
control him? Like if that has something to do with it.
The
See, now
siren.
it's like
The beach has to be something. It has to be
beach
something.
devil.
the title of the chapter is why I'm just like, what the waves say. I'm like, where the fuck?
Yeah.
What do they say? Somebody tell me, because I'm looking at it.
The waves
Well,
haven't said a single thing this whole chapter.
no.
A big part of the siren lore is that the waves are speaking to you and shit. So there could be some credence to that.
Yeah.
And it's really just like a
there's
subtle,
so many
a subtle
possibilities,
hint in the
bro.
chapter that is just barely even. It's hinted in the title, and then just the fact that she's by water.
Yeah.
I love the idea of the Siren Devil. My only criticism of the idea is that like it doesn't seem powerful
Very
enough.
powerful.
It's
Yeah.
not-
Yeah.
But if the siren is trickery, is manipulation, is
And she just takes the
trolling
form of
others,
a siren, and that
Right.
makes her have a
then maybe
condition.
that's pretty OP generally.
Well, no, they
Yeah.
lure you in. They lure you in, like under the
With
guise
singing,
of them being a
usually,
sweet,
right?
soft
Right.
maiden with singing
Right.
and shit, and then they fucking kill you and eat you.
Yeah, sure. But
Right.
more so, even saying that it's not just literally that, it's trickery, is the what Nickums is saying here, right? And that she could just like Siren be thematically what she is, because that is trick, like she symbolizes trickery, and that maybe that gives her, their condition of the ocean, basically, which, because like think Cosmo's devil was a fucking stitched up zombie. Like, how does that tie in? I mean, it doesn't have to be exact on. So like as a siren being like thematically what she is, but it represents trickery as a whole. I do like, I just wouldn't say it's fear of just a siren, right? Like it wouldn't be explicitly just that. Like, especially with all these other abilities that she's got.
Yeah.
She got quite a few abilities.
Wow.
So,
Damn.
but Makima, and I think this conversation is pretty good proof of it. To me, even though this is just my opinion, is the single most interesting character in anything I read ever. Period. Like not ever, but like right now for sure.
Yeah.
Maki,
One single
Interesting,
solitary
interesting.
character.
Oh yeah, there's
character
no
that
argument there. There's
like-
no argument there.
And that's
She's
just
such an enigma, but at the same time, she's so like exactly what you're saying. The most interesting character in anything that like, I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
you just fiend for information on her. Like you just want it so bad, and it's like I need.
When a character
obviously-
that every single sentence they say, you are like, but why are you saying that though? Like,
And when
what's your
there's so
motivation
much-
here?
And when there's so much chaos and so much unexplainable, like inexplicable shit that's going on, and you're like, holy shit, how is this arc going to end? And you know that in most of these arcs, she's just pulled up and done things nonchalantly and ended the conflict to some degree. You're like, I need to know what the fuck that's about. You know what I mean? When there's so much crazy, wild shit happening, and she just strolls in like it's not a problem and deals with it. Obviously, that's gonna have you going like, who the fuck is this?
And like, so in this chapter, one more thing, like in terms of the enigma that is Makima, you know, Aki asks her, what are you doing out here? And she's like, waiting. Or what are you waiting for us? No, not for you.
Yeah, dude.
What are you waiting for then? God damn it, tell me. I'm so curious.
Well, and there's even more confusion in that.
Dude,
to what she says at the end of that. What the fuck did she says waiting shouldn't be long now, I thought.
Yeah.
That's, you know,
wild.
So obviously something is going to happen. Something's going to show up. She was expecting them or something else, somebody. Yeah.
Wow.
Strange.
Wow.
She was waiting for them and she's lying. I mean, obviously there's so many things that it could be, of course. And like, it's man,
she's just trying, she's trying to be mysterious now. She knows that she's confusing and just like wants to like throw people on the fire.
Fujimoto knows that that's his you know, ace in the hole. Like Makima, just we're just gonna make sure we're gonna dangle this seemingly forever, right? Like and continue to make it interesting every fucking week somehow. You never like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. Like, fuck her. She ain't gonna tell me what's going on. I'm done. I don't want to do it. Like that never happens. Like and so like that. And like I was saying earlier about flipping between basically the last 4 pages, you know, I'm looking at it as 2 pages at a time on my PC, but like flipping back and forth to, you know, show me your power, that's in order, you know, for Angel. You see he's looking up, it's light, he turns, it's dark, why is it nighttime? You have a good power, you know, this time has passed. So she more so than controls, like she's erasing parts of people's memory, like she's making you maybe even just believe and see, like she could totally make you, I assume she can make you completely hallucinate and see something that's not there, and you think that that's 100% real and have no reason to believe that that's not real. And that's why I think too, like blindfolding her allies while doing her abilities could rewrite her order or give memories back they're not supposed to have, you know.
I'm glad you brought up the blindfold again, because in terms of the God Devil, if you look at God, you die. Right? It's like a kind of a lore kind of thing, right? So you got to get blindfolded, right? You know what I mean? Like, could that be a piece of if it's God Devil? But no, Ooh, that's so mysterious.
So much, man. This is crazy. It's so much fun to read this story. I love it.
Fuck yeah. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to say about it?
No, I think that's all I had.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good too.
All right. Well, then with that, we can go ahead and get into chapter 254 of Black Clover.
Yes, sir.
Power differential.
Well, the devil broke out of the ceiling. What a surprise. I didn't see that coming at all. I was confident that was just going to be the end of that battle. But I'm glad we're keeping on with that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, but okay, so like the explanation that we go. Okay, so before we get into the explanation, a couple things that I just want to say about the chapter in general is that this chapter is the first time. Like, this was a scary, like this, like it was a very ominous, very scary vibe. Like, like it felt very like destitute and like, holy shit, and you know,
Pizzo N kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like, Jesus Christ, like this is getting real really fast here. This battle is intense.
Now Dante came and washed everybody, and I was like, okay, and we had our criticisms of that. And everything was cool. Like, that was like, okay, this motherfucker came in and killed everybody. That's wild. And then, I'm sorry, Xenon, the bone magic dude came in
against the
Golden Dawn.
Yeah.
Came in and watched the Golden Dawn. We were like, okay, this is our first look at these devils. This shit was crazy. He came in and did that thing. I didn't really feel anything. I was just like, okay, they're introducing.
It was pretty quick.
Stakes.
I feel like.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. I was like, they're introducing stakes here with this character. Dante comes in, and Dante felt, you know, more like I don't want to call
typical
him a
1v1 shonen.
Yeah, like
villain,
I don't want to call him a cell. I don't want to call him like a. But he just had like that vibe. Just like reminded me of like Dragon Ball or like a like a typical like. But this right here, this Vanica shit, is like. Because I think it's because it's so heavily tied to the Heart Kingdom itself with Lolo Pachika. Obviously, Undine is out of here. Their plan failed. Everything is so dire, and everything is so. And you have this devil dialogue that is just like, oh, whoops. What's going on, you guys? You guys thought that was gonna work? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like, I kind of still want to play with you guys. Oh, you guys are dying all around me. That sucks. You know what I mean? And it's like,
paired with the amazing art.
Yeah,
this art was crisp and really it pops. It really pops in terms of the devil split in the face, and the
this
horns,
facial panel
and the magic and the raining of this like cursed sludge from the sky and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, wow. I'm like, woohoo!
This Vanica face panel here, it's like, how is this not the main? And maybe she is the main, like threat inside of Spade Kingdom. You know what I mean? But like Dante,
it is crazy to think.
Dante didn't give off
better than this?
Dante didn't give off no kind of vibe like this. Xenon didn't give off like this. Seems final bossy to me. Like this page right here where she's like, you make me want to toy with you even more. I was looking at that shit like I was like, yo, like this is some like
that's
Evil Dead shit. Yeah.
Isn't just that we're gonna have these times probably with Dante and Xenon, right?
Sure.
Oh,
like,
yeah, sure.
Didn't he only go like 50%, 40%? Dante?
She can go 70. Oh no, Dante can go the
Dante.
Dante can go 100%.
No, but
I think he can go 80. He can go 80.
He only went like 40, I think.
Yeah, he did not go all that high.
He went 51. He went 51.
Sure, 51, but she went 70.
Okay, 51.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So we don't know what the fuck Dante's going to be like when he gets to like 70, 80 to the point where his devil starts to take him over like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we get the dialogue here that says
awfully
that
convenient magic for this devil.
Yeah, now this new magic that comes in that says it, reduces the potency of any magic that attacks
I will say we were wondering what
Tabata.
the devil's magic was as opposed to
right.
What does curse warding magic really mean?
Right.
Like,
so
what does it really do? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fine.
Curse warding magic. That's decaying world.
Well, it's also the reviving of characters. You know what I mean? Like it's just curse generally, which is like I don't know. I think it makes some sense.
It's just I win.
I will definitely say that last week or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, it's either going to be the devil powers up and breaks through, boring, or whatever. But like, I guess I'll at least grant that I did not see this coming. That there was a special ability that weakens spells. I did not see that coming.
And now I said last week, I was like, okay, so maybe they separate, they like narrow seals the Megicula magic, away from Vanica.
Rips away the devil.
Yeah, takes away the devil magic and like confines it in a space away from Vanica that she can't access, and then they just have to deal with Vanica herself as a mage. But no, we get dialogue. I got Megicula and Vanica's magic at the same time, and I was like, okay, so now I know she's about to break out of this shit because you don't just relegate her to a regular human body and then otherwise the fight is fucking over. So this had to go south in some kind of way. Yeah. But I think go ahead.
I was based on just after this, because it's the very beginning of the chapter, right?
Yeah.
So Nero's like, oh yeah, I got both of them. And so to verify this in terms of exposition or whatever, like, showing scenes or whatever to verify, did it actually work? Lolo Pachika's like, oh yeah, so that must mean my curse is gone. And she opens up her... What the fuck is she opening? Wait, does her dress just have an opening? No. She's wearing a dress. Like, does everyone's dress just open up on your stomach so you can?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you never.
I was just like, what is she doing?
You never
if you got
know
a curse there. Maybe you have that done intentionally to your dress.
Yeah, the tailor. You have the tailor do it.
I see what you're saying. But that's so weird, right? Isn't that so weird?
Yeah, that is super weird. Not even kanji there, like rip or anything like that. Like it's not like she's ripped it open.
It's just a hole there.
But no, okay. So I think the biggest thing that I'm taking away here.
She got the nine-tailed fox in her. I mean, is that
right? Yeah, you got the
like that. Yeah.
But my biggest takeaway I think here from this chapter is the argument that Vanica is having with Megicula here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so Megikula is saying all of these things, and Vanika's like, "Hey, devil, this is my time here that you're impeding on. I want to fuck with these people some more.
Yeah, don't get in the way. I'm trying to have fun here."
Yeah. So like maybe this contention inside of the ideals and the motivations of these these Spade characters and their devils respectively could go into like chapters and chapters from now, the final conflict, and maybe their conflict with each other has a major role to play in like how they're defeated, which would be very. I love
that you brought this up because think of these devils. Why are these devils even on these people's teams? They must have a reason. They must have their own motivations. The devils aren't just some slave race that like just happens to help mages. They're their own race that has their own goals. So I love that you. I didn't think about that. I love that you brought that up.
And it could be very like Phoenix Force inside of like Marvel comics. I love my Western comic book like references here. But like the Phoenix Force is literally just like the amalgamation of all living energy, psionic energy that has ever, will ever, and currently does exist. Right, so it's literally any life force that the sum totality of all life force, period. But it's obviously not a three-dimensional being. It's just a amalgamation of energy, and it wants to have a three-dimensional experience. So it chooses conduits like Jean Grey, like like all of these other characters that are actual like physical 3D people.
Sure.
And it inhabits their bodies so that it inhabits their bodies so that it can have a three-dimensional experience. So I would assume that it's akin to that, to where these devils are trapped in another dimension and they can't just like roam freely in this part of like space or this part of like reality that regular people do or regular mages do. So they form contracts or go into these bodies and have some kind of deal so that they can experience another part of life that they can't reach
and probably trick the humans into opening a portal so that they can just come straight through.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Because we have seen obviously with the word devil that a portal was open just for the word devil, which was a whole bunch of rigmarole I had to go through to get. You got to get all these different little jewels and put them in the whatever thing. I forgot what Kelopot, the opposite of Kelopot, whatever the other one, whatever.
Yeah. Sure. We know what you mean.
But but that makes a lot of sense though. I mean that's fair to me. I just do you guys think that these devils are going to separate themselves from their hosts? At some point, or
see, like what happens,
or
if
just
that happens,
totally take them over.
Either totally take them over, but it's like, can they totally take them over when there's so much? And that goes back to what I was talking about with like Asta being like a perfect conduit for a devil because he doesn't have any mana of its own that the devil has to compete with. So like I was, and remember I had that idea months and months ago when we got like the like origin like exposition that like maybe like Asta was like an experiment where they took the mana completely away from a child so that it could grow up and become a perfect vessel for a devil to take over a body entirely because there's no mana there to struggle with and compete with. It can just completely just move in. You know what I mean? So like, and it could be something like that. So like that could be a reason why there's so much conflict between like Vanica and Megikula, and maybe even Dante and his devil Infernus or whatever the dude's name is. I don't fucking remember. But Infernium. I don't know, whatever fucking name it is. Inferno something. But like, but it could just be Jogo. But it could be something like that to where these devils need a physical body to inhabit because like Nick was saying, they want to trick them into opening up a portal so that they can come into this three-dimensional space, or something like, or there's just this other dimension that they don't have access to normally without a physical body. But I mean, a lot of speculation can be done there as to why these devils are teaming up with these mages. But I mean, what I was saying though is that like if they did, like if Sekre or Nero did successfully separate curse from body, and then all of a sudden like let that seal go, where would Megikula go? She would just be out in the three-dimensional world. Obviously, they don't want that to happen. She would just run rampant. Would she go back to her dimension? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly what would happen there. You would think that would be a positive thing for Megikula is to just be able to exist outside of Vanica's body in this realm.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I was thinking a lot of things, but eventually it just came down to, I nullified your abilities just enough to where you couldn't completely seal me away, and now I'm back.
Yeah. And I was having the same thought as you but if you seal Megicula and separate her from Vanica and separate into two beings, and somehow like Vanica just pops out of like the sealing crystal and only Megicula's in the crystal, you're still right. I still agree with you that the fight's probably over at that point, because she even if she was like fully at 100% with her magic, can she like 2v1 3v1 whatever this is right now? I don't know, but
probably not.
In a water pool versus a mermaid, whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's not a good look.
If it kept the devil in the seal and like Sekre could do something with it, right? Like, all right, I'm out of here. I gotta take this shit back to fucking Julius and the crew, and then we're gonna have to poke and prod this thing and learn some shit here, that would have been fine with me. Like, I would have been fine with that, but obviously we're just gonna break out and
and then the fight that ensues here. So this is obviously a very dire situation, and I think Tabata did a good job for what it's worth inside of the story that he's obviously telling here. You know what I mean? That where the stakes are trying to be high, but are still pretty low at the same time. That, like, okay, so you killed Undine, supposedly. That there's no like specific like confirmation that Undine is out of here.
Just gonna get her anyway. Noelle's somehow going to get her. This is just a mechanism for Noelle to get her now.
Yes. And it's like, okay, I see what you're doing here. You're writing it as well as you can. It's fine. It's good. It's great. It's great for what you are trying to do.
It's great art.
Great art for sure, great art. And I love that Noelle is the deciding, or seeming to be the deciding factor here. When Lolo Pachika fails,
she's not.
And I do agree that I like
more
that
so than anyone
Noelle,
else though. Where's Mimosa?
But
Mimosa's not even in this chapter.
This is literally
she's still fighting tongue guy, right? Yeah.
Yes. But this literally is a repeat of last chapter. The ending panel. Oh, Nero did it. Nero sealed the devil. That's pretty cool. Maybe the fight's over. Okay, this chapter. Oh yeah, Noelle's pierced the demon, pierced the bad guy, and maybe she wins. She didn't win. Like, this is like this is
the exact same. She pierced him. She pierced her the last time, and then the start of the next chapter, she like put the blood magic on it. And then that didn't work. So now she's piercing her again, weaker than last time, and Vanica is stronger than last time.
Yes, that's what I don't understand. Like, she's not in mermaid form. They're not in the water. The blood magic is definitely a factor here, and the devil is stronger. Like, I just don't understand. Like, are we supposed to be like, wow, cool, that was sick?
She's gonna do something here.
She probably won right there. No, she obviously didn't win. That's why.
Well, so you gotta okay, in shonen stories, especially ones that are very typical shonen stories, like we're reading here.
Very old.
You just gotta like. And so she puts on Valkyrie dress instead of mermaid dress or whatever the fuck, I don't, whatever,
Well, maybe Valkyrie dress is more effective here in this situation because there's not a big bubble dome of water.
Well, definitely. Now that there's no water, of course she's got to resort to Valkyrie dress at that point. But just the fact that it's a shonen where it's like, okay, my friends are on the line. I'm gonna rise to the occasion, get stronger. I'm gonna
not yet. Now I'm not finished yet.
Have nothing to do with it. It's like, I think it does have something to do with it.
It's like, okay, now you've narrowly dodged these, spikes, dark spikes that are coming at you.
They barely missed your vital organs. This is very
still somehow
typical.
Still somehow finds a way to hit a titty, like it's fucking Tabata, man. I feel like it's man, and obviously this is a fight with a bunch of the girls, but this whole thing is upskirts on fucking Sekre too. It's like, why are we doing upskirts on the fucking lowly? Please, can we just not like? I don't need this. Why does every angle she's doing this and we're looking straight down?
Yeah, we got and like when she's sealed right here, when Sekre's hemmed up and fucking Noelle is face down in the water, we got some butt cheek here, and it's like, bro,
dude, that's like the fucking third or fourth time we get butt cheek, and it's like, dude, is Tabata walking around with a mirror on his shoe? Because like I feel like I don't know what's going on, like, bro, like he's like,
we get Noelle butt cheek at the end of the chapter too.
We got Noelle butt cheek at the end.
Yes we do, exactly right. Like, and it's like it's just just going too far. Like, so that's the thing. Like when we started reading this, we were like, oh man, a magic fucking series. It sounds pretty tight. You know, like we're reading it. We read it right early from the beginning.
Yeah,
you know,
right away. Chapter
like,
1.
Yeah, and it wasn't terrible right away. It didn't feel, you know, super campy at that time. Yeah. No,
it was amazing.
Yeah, and there was big stakes
for a
through
long
first
time.
Like,
it was amazing
for those like first 2 arcs too. Like Julius coming back with his arm,
I was
a pool of blood.
Stan until fucking Water Temple, and then through Water Temple, and then after Water Temple, I started being like,
well, what's the number one thing we were saying too way back then when we thought it was good? It's like, man, a magic show that's not going to be fairy tale. And now look, we're fucking fairy tale. We got fucking asses and titties every chapter. I can't do it. Like, man, it's just it's too much.
It's starting to get to a point. It's starting to get to a point where it does feel like it's too much. Yeah.
And maybe it's just because this is the 4 girls fight. The 4 girls, 5. It's all women except for Tongue Guy, which is questionable that the Tongue Guy's there. But whatever.
Who else would it be?
Exactly. Who else would it be?
Little.
Get the cock queen gif out, you know, for that.
Cock queen, man. Eagle. How do you feel about this chapter, bro?
So it's decent.
Yeah,
like it's not
the
worst. It's the fan service problem.
We're going on a tirade right now. We're going on a diatribe. Yeah. We're going on a diatribe right now, but at the same time, it's like you can't fucking say anything negative about this art. You can't say anything negative about the emotional direction that this is going in for the series, inside of, you know, what Tabata is allowing as far as storytelling quality is going.
Right.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, it's like predictability. I feel like all of like the negative comments that we've made and negative predictions that we've made have almost pretty much all come true in this arc. That was supposed to be the turning point of this story to make it like really good again. You know what I mean? And Tabata can still, I mean, we don't know the future. We don't know the future, but like this coming out of this time skip, I had way higher expectations for it, and I was way more excited for it at the beginning, because obviously the start of the like, you know, the storytelling coming out of the time skip seemed like it was going to set up a lot of like next level shit for this series, and then it all just comes back to those, you know.
Well, and the important question, question is, if we lose enthusiasm covering it, is it going to make this segment a waste of time for everybody? Because even if you do come here for Black Clover analysis, and we're just like, we don't like it anymore. We're gonna push people away, which I'm not trying to do, because
we're not trying to do that.
There's a lot of
we've been hyping
this.
We've been hyping this in this arc multiple times on this show.
Yeah,
this is probably the most negative that we've been on this segment.
Say to compare it to like Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Like when we're talking about the theories of what could happen chapter to chapter, like it's very open, up in the air, like and the general
very tense,
chapter to
very
chapter,
exciting,
it's very tense, right?
Everything.
When you can easily call, you know, she's not actually sealed, right? Like it's not gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, but that's what the chapter's trying to get you to think it is gonna work. You know what I mean? So it's not our fault that like the theories that are just gonna be like, well, she's not dead, so let's just get that out of the way. Like, what else can you say? What else can you say?
Yeah, what else can you say?
Well, and another example is, I think very deeply about Chainsaw Man every single week and try really hard to like take in as much as I can with it. And
Black Clover just doesn't allow that kind of analysis.
Exactly.
And I'm trying so hard with Chainsaw Man, and it's fun and it's great and I love to do it, and it's awesome to speculate, but I feel like I have really good ideas, and they still could be completely fucking nowhere near right. Completely wrong.
Right.
Like I could be, and I've been way off base a lot of times on when things sounded really good, where it's like, Black Clover, we're predicting it every week, man. Like,
and even when we're wrong, like, it's something stupider than we thought it was gonna be. Well, I don't know, man. That sounds so mean, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm gonna be wrong, I want it to be like mind-blowingly cool. You know what I mean? But when I sit here and I like make a negative prediction of how something is going to go, and it doesn't happen that way, and something worse than I thought happens, then it's like, fuck, dude. It's like, what are you doing?
a lot of our theories, I think, are trying to salvage the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how can we make this badass? How can we make this badass?
Yeah, we've had a lot of really good ideas.
Of like 5 things, and then it's like, oh no, we're just gonna show some titties, and she's gonna fly around and stab her, and it'll look pretty tight.
Stab her again.
It'll look pretty tight.
Happened 2 chapters ago.
Like to the same cliffhanger twice. The exact same cliffhanger twice in an even less
in
likely
the same month?
to win situation in the same. Like, come on, bro. Come on. I'm sorry, Black Clover fans. I'm sorry.
I'm not so sorry, but I do sympathize.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
I mean, sorry, I'm not sorry.
Do we have anything? Do we have anything else that we want to say?
Eagle, do you have? Eagle, do you want to say more?
Yeah,
I will say it's not exactly like, I was wondering if it was the cliffhanger, and it actually is the last page of the other chapter too, when she stabs her. But it's a different vibe that you get
it's a
from
different
it.
vibe. Yeah, for sure.
In this
because
first
it's not
one,
as
she's
dire.
like, good one.
Yeah.
But in this other one, it's like all black and white.
This
And
time
it
we'll get the
looks
good one.
It looks
next
like
chapter.
it is actually pierced her in this one. I'll say that too. In the first one, it did not look like it pierced her, at least to this degree.
Yeah, for sure.
So
if she dies from this attack,
she might
I will be completely like, I will be like,
yeah,
nice,
I will come back.
work.
Oh yeah, for sure. I will come back next
but
week.
It's not gonna happen.
And be like,
no,
yeah, I don't know.
still
he
won't
did
unless I get
it.
a
He
good
fucking did the
explanation
damn
on
thing.
how.
Yeah.
That's
need to know
good.
how.
Yeah, and we do need to. Yeah, we do need to.
Even to do it, even to actually go through with it and actually kill someone in this way, I'll be like, okay, let's go.
Well, and
I'll eat my Grimmer right now.
Okay, so if she's not dead,
I'll eat my
Noelle
One Piece
is
Grimmer.
obviously not like in a position to continue this fight, at least not for much longer.
Yeah.
So who's coming in then? Is it maybe Gaja?
I don't know. I feel like I mean everyone else is like.
No,
pretty much
Gaja's
lost.
fighting actually right now
Yeah, I think so.
because his person that he beat revived. So
Yeah.
and Asta's all the way in Clover Kingdom. So
I mean,
So Julius is gonna
Who
pull
knows?
up.
no, I think what if, I mean, y'all were just talking about Undine, and
Yeah.
what if Undine and Noelle teamed up?
Yeah, I think that's
in
very,
this arc right
yeah.
now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lolo
Yeah.
Peshka is out of the count. She's crying and she's just out of it. And Undine, because a spirit, an elemental spirit, would go to who is the most in tune with my element. You know what I mean? Like just
So,
like obviously super wind
Right.
boy. What if Noelle is super water girl here, and Undine's like, actually I'm gonna fuck with her right now. And
So Lolo
maybe that gives us
Pachica is obviously very demoralized here. She's obviously very
demoralized, yeah.
out of the fight mentally. She's
Right.
obviously and she could just get walked. Like, okay, so like I'm thinking like maybe next chapter Noelle has this very heroic moment where she stabs Megikula Vanica, and obviously Megikula Vanica is going to deal with that in whatever way next chapter, in a way that is, you know, maybe swats, you know, Noelle to the side or whatever, and then goes after Lolo Pachica to finish the job. And then while Lolo Pachica is, you know, about to get dealt the final blow, the Undine links with fucking Noelle, and then that creates a new, you know, conflict situation for that
Sure.
actually does take out Vanica maybe eventually by the end of the conflict. I can see it happening in a way like that.
yeah, that'd be
I'm trying to remember the dynamic for which like the selection. I can't remember exactly the
They just
dialogue
choose.
when Fuego Leon got it. Was it
that one was some shit too. It
It
like
was
flew
either-
from fucking Fana from a whole different
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
all the way over to Fuego Leon. How the hell did that even happen?
I don't even know.
Was it like it
Bro.
chooses the most noble or the most like deserving based on power? I can't
I
remember.
wish I knew.
No
It was
idea.
either one of those. 'cause, I mean, he's
Maybe
a
this
noble
will be
motherfucker.
the time where we do get the exposition of how exactly the selection happened. I would be
Yeah.
happy with that.
I would love
because
that.
I was gonna say it could tie in nicely with this. At least I don't know.
Yeah.
The juxtaposition of the two characters. Lolo Pachica's out of there, not looking too noble right now. Noelle is doing some noble, like deserving
Yes.
of a spirit type shit. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
I mean,
knows?
and it's, you know, kind of the obvious way to go is, you know, like I said, I mean, this Undine getting cursed to begin with is just a mechanism for Noelle to get it. Obviously, she's I just don't feel like there's any other outcome actually than
Yeah,
that. Like,
because
Vanica
Vanica seems very confused as to like what cursing an actual spirit even looks like. So you curse the spirit, it dies, it gets reborn and chooses a new target. Megikula might not know exactly how this process even works. She might have just created the conditions of her defeat right now.
I like that.
Yeah. That's better, definitely. That feels good.
That's all I had though.
Yeah, that's all I had as well.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, well then with that, we can probably go ahead and get right into chapter 983 of One Piece. Thunder.
Thunder is right. Wow.
I absolutely loved this chapter. It was
this
such
is
a fun
a chapter
read.
that we've been needing for a while.
Yeah.
That's a fine
and,
cover
and I just want to
story,
say
too.
this about the cover story before we get like too deep into it. Like,
Dude.
Yeah.
Obviously,
So Pound
there.
is confirmed alive.
We see the bandage on his head. I don't know if that's where Oven hit him with the glaive or if he went more towards the neck area. We did see in the Seducing Woods that Pound has a very hard head when Randolph hit him in the back of the head with the spear and it just stuck in his shit. Like, bonk.
He has a lot of band-aids on him.
I'm not
his
saying
chest
it
is
makes
wrapped
sense.
up. His torso is wrapped up. He has a lot of bandages on him.
Bro, Randolph is that little fucking rabbit guy.
Yeah, the rabbit.
Right?
Okay, so
Bro, how
Oven
do you
is
remember
obviously
the
probably
fucking,
way
who
stronger.
the hell is Randolph? How do you remember who the hell is Randolph? God damn.
That's the Eagles good for that. Eagles good for that shit though.
Yeah, he won the shit on Ippon Matsu. You gotta give him his credit on that.
I knew Ippon Matsu too though. He just answered first.
Always taking credit.
Bro, I literally, no, stop. I literally, no, I have to say this for Kiko. I literally have a tweet. I literally have a tweet that compares Ippon Matsu to Orochi, to young Orochi. I literally have a tweet that compares Ippon Matsu to young Orochi.
He's right.
Thank
He's
you.
right.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you.
It's still funny.
I'm not saying it makes sense, but this could be something that Oda uses to explain away the fact that Pound is alive. Is Oven hit him in the head. He's got a really hard head. You know.
Well, he's got bandages across his chest and his torso. You know, stomach. Stomach and torso.
Yep.
So who knows? It's crazy to me that Oven didn't kill him because Oven said, "I'm about to kill this." Like basically said he's out of here, right? Like I don't give a fuck about you. You ain't my dad's shit. Nothing. Heated up a big fucking heated fist, ready to,
Well, it's strange too because I was always under the impression that because Oda's on record saying like he does not like drawing gore, really nasty shit.
Yeah.
So I was always under the impression that he doesn't kill a lot of people because of that.
Yeah.
But man, he didn't even kill this man. He didn't even show him dying.
That's what I'm saying. He
didn't even show a corpse or anything like that. I was just always under the impression we're not going to see corpses, people dying in gruesome ways, shit like that. But Pound died from a mile away. We didn't even see the shit. And he didn't even. So maybe Oda really just doesn't like the aspect of death as a whole. I don't know.
Sure, but.
And really only implements it in the case of Ace, Whitebeard, when it's hugely monumental to the story.
Yeah.
This is somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but could it be Pound's twin? Being that if twins, you have twins, if twins are a genetic thing.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
It's who cares?
We don't need to spend too much time on this
for this cover chapter to be over. But that was just something to think about,
Yes.
So going into the chapter right away.
Into the chapter. Go
love
ahead.
seeing Perospero.
Perospero. So I just have to say something about what he's saying here. This is the second time Perospero has explicitly mentioned the Big Mom and Kaido alliance and how he's not happy with it.
Not in favor. Yes.
Yeah.
And this tells me that in whatever large battle we're going to be getting on Onigashima, there's going to be it's not going to be a 1v1 clash. It's going to be a free-for-all match.
Yes, it is.
Big Mom Pirates versus Kaido Pirates versus World Government versus Pirates versus it's going to be a huge free-for-all.
Think about it. We haven't seen a Smoothie fight. You got to see Smoothie, right? You have to 100% see Smoothie. I feel like you got to see an actual full Oven, full Daifuku, and Katakuri come back and fight somebody,
Bro, if Katakuri comes through the mirror.
Whoo! Wait a minute.
Crazy.
Bro, Brule can just run anywhere. Like that's man.
But
like,
motherfucker's gonna be big mad when Kaido stances up and gets hit with the Candy Rock.
No.
Fucking
no. Stop it.
He uses it as a tandem attack. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So
That'd be crazy.
a minor thing next
Kaido's
after this,
too hard
right?
body for that,
the Brachio tank. I'm
Yes.
getting big Dragon Ball vibes from this Brachio tank.
Dude,
You know what
aren't
I mean?
you,
So
though?
I love the drawing
Capsule
of this
Corp
alternate
type shit. Yeah.
Yes,
Capsule Corp.
yes,
Capsule Corp.
yes.
Like you can imagine a sphere with the legs. Chicka, chicka, chicka. You know, like
Yes.
I just love the drawing of this alternate
Hell
form
yeah.
of Brachio tank.
Yes.
Super cool.
I'm glad you thought of Dragon Ball, because what I thought of is Metal Gear. He's bipedal tank. Metal Gear confirmed here.
Oh, wow.
Is this a nuclear vessel here? Can he shoot? Is this actually Pluton? Metal Gear. No, obviously that's not Brachio tank. But he knows how to make.
Like we know Frankie has read blueprints of weapons of the high tier weapons.
And
So
that
Yeah,
is-
and a lot
these
of
things
people have
are akin to
speculated
him.
that like Pluton could be inside of the Sunny itself. You know?
So yeah, some people think
definitely.
Sunny already is the Pluton.
Is
Yeah,
Pluton.
Sunny itself. Right.
It's just funny though. Obviously, I don't think that it's actual.
Yeah.
But that's what I thought. Like it's, and then once you mentioned, I'm like, duh. Why didn't I think of Dragon Ball? Like I'm crazy. Like, but
Yeah, that's your jam, bro.
It is. But another thing to think about too. Before just talking about Sparrow, I really want to emphasize he does not trust Big Mom's decision making, which is very fair, right? And that he is de facto leader, being the the oldest son, whatever, just the oldest child regardless, and he obviously is the strats guy, clearly. Like Big Mom
I was
is
gonna
not
say,
yeah,
I'm glad you added that
obviously
caveat.
yeah, of course, because like Big Mom will just grab his ass and just smash the shit out
Well,
of
no,
his
and
head
even
in
all
a
the
second,
siblings said, like,
a lot of
when
the
he tried to
siblings are way
claim-
stronger.
When he tried to claim authority,
Kata
they were
Curry.
like, "Bitch, it's Kata Curry. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
As far as strats go, like Kata Curry really might be on par with Sparrow, because like you think back to critical moments, like he was on point with the earplugs. He said, "Oh shit, everybody, boom."
Sparrow gives me the vibes of
He's the guy in the chair.
Yeah, he's the kind of shady motherfucker in the behind the scenes. Like he's a weasel kind of type character.
So Sparrow has ambitions to run the crew, from everything we've seen thus far.
Right.
Even though we've already talked about how Kata Curry is strength-wise clearly the one who would be the captain.
Right.
But can Sparrow play his cards with his family members the right way to gain enough favor, like having Smoothie and Cracker on his side, again, to defend against Kata Curry as, no, we should have our big brother be the captain. He's led us this way, whatever. So I just think
that's a really interesting point, because like the Big Mom crew, the Big Mom family is so big that you actually can have like politics be a huge factor in the thing, right?
Yes.
Where like you normally think like, okay, Big Mom, she's just the strongest, so like there's nothing really anyone can do. Or like Kata Curry, if she died, Kata Curry is the strongest, nothing really anyone can do. But if like 10 children like band together, like they could probably beat Kata Curry 10 on one.
Just
you know what I mean?
the
So,
other
like,
two strongest.
or
even
just the other two
So
strongest.
the politics is actually a very interesting part of the Big Mom crew.
There's 85 of them, right?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, well, and especially because we do get it, as opposed to Kaido's crew, it's like a meritocracy. You're not going to get anything unless you earn that shit.
Yeah.
Big Mom's crew is like, there's a lot of favoritism and, like you guys said, politics involved in it, where like certain members
It's a
of the
meritocracy,
family
but it's
dislike
not at
other
the
members
same
of
time.
the family, and like these members, and
Yeah.
I imagine if high up members in the family don't like you, you're not moving up very far.
Right.
So yeah.
Going into like this scene with Zoro versus the Gifters. I don't know if you guys are ready to move on there, but that's very Whiskey Peak energy. Very super big Whiskey Peak energy here. It goes from 100 to 500. And
also, he's about to wash all these people.
Oh yeah, and this is showing like a huge, obviously, like 100 to 500 is a pretty big gap of like enemies to fight by yourself. Obviously, Kid and Killer are also there with him, but at the same time, he seems very surrounded by a large number of much more capable individuals in the Whiskey Peak individuals. So obviously, this makes sense for him to be in a situation like this, and we know that he'll easily prevail in a situation.
Well, thematically,
like
it makes a lot of sense.
Zoro and Sanji motherfuckers, man, bro.
Right.
I mean,
Why can't you both just like both characters?
Well, because
so let me talk about that.
Like,
let me talk
instantly, right when the chapter drops, Zoro's struggling against 500 gifters. He's trash. Sanji's a bitch. He's looking for the girls. He's trash. Like, just like both.
They're
characters.
different characters.
So let me make you feel better. Let me make you feel much better, because thematically, like Nox is saying, Zoro is like fodder destroyer, like, and that's pretty much what he does. Runs through yada yada yada. He's done it many times.
Sanji's more like subterfuge.
He's on his Mr. Prince right now.
Mr. Prince is coming
with
back
his upgraded raid suit. It's upgraded. He has Frankie and Usopp upgraded shit. And now, honestly, you can't say that Sanji's not in every single panel that we see from here on.
Exactly. And this is invisible. And this is the thing, man. And this is the thing, man. Like, people are looking for like tried and true, like side by side Zoro and Sanji comparisons, right? Exactly. They do different things. Like, you are not going to get a situation where Zoro is fighting 500 characters and Sanji's fighting 501. So then you can say Sanji's better than fucking Zoro. It's not going to fucking be like that. They have different roles. They do different things. Stop trying to compare them as closely as you are, because even though there's a rivalry there, they are two completely different characters meant for two completely different things thematically, physically, everything about them.
Momo.
Like all of that shit. Thank you.
That's a very good point.
Thank you.
I will say, as a Zoro stan, as someone who I do have
me too. I gravitate more towards Zoro too.
But like, in that sense, I would say that the whole reason for this argument is that Sanji fans can't accept that he's weaker. Like, he's just weaker. And like, yes, he has a different role. He's a spy. He's a subterfuge. He's sneaky, and now he has invisibility and all this stuff. But like, they just can't admit that he's weaker than Zoro. Like, he's definitely weaker than Zoro. So get over it.
It's very obvious that even Oda is like trying to, like, I know he's trying to show that there's like a rivalry there, that there's a very close, like, you know, it's like the gap is not as big as a lot of people think. But Oda shows it's very obvious that there's a difference here that people need to get over. And it's not the end of the world if Sanji is weaker than fucking Zoro. Why do you need Sanji to be the same or better? I just don't understand why you need that.
At this
I always thought of it like this.
Because I'm just saying that they haven't had moments like they had since Enies Lobby. Like, they've never had 1v1v1v1s around the group since Enies Lobby. And so things are all over the board. You can't just start making, okay, he did this thing instead of that. And it's like, Sanji is in many ways light years more capable than fucking Zoro.
In more ways.
And he can do the things he needs to do. I can't lie. That's why I have Usopp on the crew, right? You have to do the things I can't do as a captain.
Stans don't want it to be that way. They want it to be very clear, obvious. This character is better or at the exact same level as this character in every way. It's like, dude, you have to understand that every single fucking character on this crew, that's why there's only 10 of them, dude, is because they all have a specialty and they're all different. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to find tried and true delineations between, Zoro is better in every way than Sanji, or Sanji is better in every way than Zoro, or they're the exact same. They don't need to be the exact same or better than each other. They have their own strengths. And yes, they're part of the monster trio with Luffy, but no one's arguing that Luffy's the best one. So it's like, why are you fighting so much for control of the number 2 spot like that inside of your fucking agenda? It's like, bro, just accept the strengths that they have. He's been deemed the first mate
since the 3rd chapter.
Oda himself is putting Zoro in situations that outshine Sanji in X areas, and Oda himself is putting Sanji in situations that outshine Zoro in X areas. But the only area that people care about is strength. And it's like, you're losing that, Sanji stands. Like, I'm sorry, it's not going to be the same or better than Zoro in the area he's meant to excel than Sanji in. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He will always
fight the number 3.
Why aren't you guys fighting?
Even in a battle, actually, Sanji has aspects to his character that are better for certain types of battles.
Exactly. It's very
aerial
matchup
battle,
based. Yes.
underwater
Yeah,
battle. I mean,
exactly.
underwater is actually maybe a toss-up, but aerial battle.
No,
battle?
underwater is not a toss-up.
He's got
Blue walk.
Yeah, he's got blue walk.
But Zoro is like he actually beat Hody Jones
underwater. And
underwater.
Zoro has like huge AoEs. Right. He's got like underwater, above water, whatever. But at the very least,
Sanji, there's a toss-up there.
Underwater will be underwater.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't beat Kurobi underwater.
Hody, but
he didn't beat Kurobi underwater. He survived Kurobi underwater, and then beat his ass on land.
He finished the fight on land.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that Zoro has like one quick burst of onigiri underwater. He doesn't have a blue walk.
Yes, exactly.
And
it was Shishi-Sansan underwater, but yes.
Shishi-Sansan.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It's like, okay, like you like why can't Zoro and Sanji stands just understand that Sanji is better than Zoro in so many ways?
Yeah,
and Zoro is better than Sanji in so many ways because that's the way that Oda. Imagine Oda looking at these tweets. Imagine Oda looking at these Facebook arguments and going, "What are you doing with my characters? Are you guys not reading my fucking story? Like, what are you reading? Like, what are you?
Definitely a lot of people out here reading Two Piece.
What are you doing? What are you guys doing? Like, do you even like me anymore? Like, do you even like my story anymore? I'm not fucking writing this shit so you can fucking have feats to fucking argue with people with. And like, what about what's going on with like politics and like, poverty and all of these other underlying themes in my story that I'm trying to give to you guys, and you guys are worrying about meathead shit like this.
Shit
and
happening at the
you would never go. You would never go up to Oda and go, yo. So what's up with the what's up with the Zoro and Sanji shit? You know what I mean? Like imagine sitting down with the motherfucker that you praise and you go,
you wasted your question. If that was your one question, you're done.
This is my idol, Oda. You're writing my favorite story, and you're sitting here arguing like fucking idiots about shit that is so trivial and so obviously different. Like, look at yourselves. What are you doing?
So we all agree. Like,
sorry. Sorry.
That is an amazing question.
Yeah.
If you could ask Oda one question.
Yes, I was just thinking that. That's a phenomenal question.
I think I would ask him what inspired him to write.
I know Noxie's question.
You know it? Mm-hmm. Everyone knows. Well, not everyone knows it, but I've definitely said that this is my number one question for Oda. What is No. I love Eagles. What inspired you to write One Piece? I would want to ask that. Like, okay, I'm gonna say mine right now.
I don't just want to ask him what the One Piece is.
Right? No, definitely not.
And he's not gonna tell you.
Right. And he's not gonna tell you. But like,
and Luffy is still on you.
Yeah, what inspired you to write One Piece is incredible. Like, if I actually sat in front of Oda face to face and I actually had him in front of me, I would ask that question too. Right now, and like, you guys, I'm gonna say this question. You guys are gonna laugh. This is what I'm saying right now, but if I was in front of him, I would ask Eagle's question. But my question is, what kind of cigarettes does Sanji smoke? Regular or menthol? I need to know. Sure. I need to know, because we're probably not gonna get that answer.
Kiko, you think of your question. We're apparently doing this right now. So I have one. I have one.
Yeah.
My question is, I've actually been very curious about this because politics to me is one of the biggest parts of One Piece. And why it's so impactful to me personally. Yeah. So my question would be to Oda: Is the Revolutionary Army good guys, like 100% pure good guys? And would you say that they're better guys than pirates?
Ooh.
Like who's better? Who is more quote unquote good?
Yeah.
Revolutionary Army or pirates?
To be better, wouldn't they?
See, that's something.
And why?
Yeah, it's like mid-century shit.
Yeah.
Because like to me,
I ain't gonna tell you.
I view pirates as anarchists and Revolutionary Army as communists.
Yeah.
And if you ever go on Left Book, you know what I mean, talking politics, like those two groups, those groups are like in the same direction, like they're trying to left politics, but they're also in conflict. So I'm like, damn, like Oda, like which side are you on, Revolutionary Army or pirates? So that's my question for Oda.
That's a great question.
You know,
right.
I think the pirates are probably better, like in theory, maybe not in practice with how some pirates act, but I think
I don't
Steve
care
is
what
very-
you think, Eagle. I care what Oda thinks. No, I'm kidding.
That's why I think he might not tell you, because I think it ties back to some Void Century shit.
Yeah, it very well could.
Honestly, I saw a theory video on YouTube from Joy Boy. Shout outs.
Shout out to the Joy
Years ago,
Boy.
talking about Libertalia and like a Kingdom of Pirates and what the shit could be based on.
Sure,
and
sure.
He kind of swayed me heavily on that.
Joy
Now,
Boy's
Nice.
the goat.
That sounds super interesting.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
could be a Kingdom
good
of
stuff.
Pirates that was always about like never being tied down and just a free
Sure.
life.
Kiko,
And
what's your question
that's
for
the
Oda?
family of D.
Yeah.
Sure.
People might think I would throw my question away, but I'm always gonna be mad about this. I'm never gonna get over it. Why'd you hold my man's fucking Frankie, man? I swear to God, you made him look like a big, dumb, fucking fat idiot, and I'm so mad about it, bro. I'm so mad about it. Walking around with weak ass hairstyles. Like Frankie was the goat, baby.
Dude,
in
back when he
fucking-
looked like Ace
in his
Ventura.
lobby, and he would like push his glasses up, like, yeah, you want this? You know, like he was like menacing, bro. He was menacing.
Yeah.
He was dude. Frankie
Used to
was,
be the guy. He had the
Bro,
Popeye
like
forearms.
Oda-
Back with the Popeye forearms, bro.
Frankie versus Fukuro is my favorite fight
I
in
feel
the
like
fucking
Oda's-
series, bro. Like
Wow.
you get everything on that series. Yeah, dude, you get everything on the in that fight, bro. It's like, bro, like I ever get hit by your shitty sideburns, bro. Triangle jacka.
Yeah,
You
dude,
know,
they were
like,
talking crazy to each other, bro. That's one of the best fights. That's
Bro,
so underrated.
Beans left.
Frankie
Yes.
was like Frankie was
Oda
like my
might
fucking
exercise the
favorite
backhand
straw
on
hat.
your ass.
I don't care. Well, and you want to know what? It's a two-part question too. Why'd you hold Chopper too and make him fucking be?
Why'd
Kung
you
Fu
take
point
away
every time?
arm points?
Arm point.
No.
Kokute
bro, Kung Fu
Rosio
points?
Metieri! Come on, bro. That shit was
Why
so
did
gangster.
arm point have to be sacrificed? You know,
Yeah.
like
Kung Fu
sacrifice
Point
some
goes
other
crazy.
point.
Yeah, I wish he
Kung
wouldn't have
Fu
got rid
Point
of
does
arm
not
point,
go
but Kung Fu
crazy.
Point- Kung Fu Point goes
Look, bro,
crazy.
Kung Fu Point went crazy one time when we saw it in Fishman Island, and then he like never really used it again, except for in like Punk Hazard, like a little bit.
He's popped off with it.
I don't remember.
Never
he's
let
a
me.
fodder
I better
fighter.
never. I better never hear you saying Bruce Lee is cool, because Kung Fu Point is literally Bruce Lee Point. Like it is literally Bruce Lee, and it's cool as hell.
But it's cool on paper. In
That ain't
practice,
cooler than
he doesn't
Kokute
get
cross,
it.
bro,
Yeah,
like
A
Kokute
little
cross
barrel
is
just
way.
flipping around, kicking the shit out of you like he's a barrel.
Let's
That
see
shit
it
is
more.
hilarious.
Then let's get more of it then.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
man,
I don't know. Anyway.
Chopper.
I'm
Chopper's-
mad about those two, but
Yeah.
more so Frankie. Like I'm fine with Chopper. Chopper is fine. Chopper is a mascot.
Yeah,
really,
yeah, that's
and
fine.
That's
no. Chopper, dude. Honestly, Chopper
is the best doctor in the
Chopper
world of One
post.
Piece.
No.
Don't at
Listen.
me. You can't
Chopper.
disprove
Listen.
it.
Chopper.
got
Chopper
something
post time
hilarious to say
skip.
after this.
Chopper post time skip has had a lot of relevance, a lot more relevance than people give him credit for.
Yeah.
The blood transfusion in Fishman Island,
Yeah.
the Punk Hazard situation entirely.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like he has been. A lot of people really call him
Huge.
useless since post time skip, but he's had massive moments that people overlook because he's not doing
It's 'cause
Zoro
none
and
fights.
yeah,
Oh,
because he's not.
strong.
Yeah,
He's not
exactly,
fighting.
exactly. And it's like,
Sure,
dude, it's
sure.
like, what are you reading One Piece for if you're not like looking at what each individual strength of the Straw Hat Pirates are and like really respecting and understanding and appreciating all of the moments that they do get to shine? Because obviously the story has gone to a way more story driven point as opposed to pre-time skip, which makes sense because obviously Oda's been fucking opening up all of these plot threads since the beginning of the series that obviously he had to eventually get to. How much characterization and how much character focus are you planning on getting when you have 19 to 50 different fucking story driven plot threads that have been laid out since the beginning of the story while we were getting all of this character driven focus leading up into the time skip? Obviously it was always going to get to a point where we were going to be getting less Straw Hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been seeing this coming for so long. So like for that to be a complaint of yours, it's like we got so much Straw Hat. We got more Straw Hat than we could fucking deal with pre-time skip. You know what I mean? It's like hopefully we get more. I hope that it's not the end before One Piece is over. I'm a huge proponent of saying after this arc, if we ever actually do get some downtime, that we get like 3 to 7 chapters of just Straw Hats chilling and interacting with each other. I would love that before we go into the next arc. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, you can't be mad that Oda is going towards a more story-driven situation when it's always been set up to go that route since the beginning of this.
Now,
we started
I
getting
totally
really
agree with
big
you.
information, but
yeah, we should talk about the chapter.
Get into the
And
chapter.
just one thing, I just want to say one little quick
Damn
thing.
it, Kiko, better be quick.
It's very quick. It's very quick. Just because we're talking about Chopper here, something I saw on Twitter last week, I forgot to say on last fucking episode. It's just hilarious. The note that fucking Marco filled out to give to Nekomamushi to give to the Straw Hat crew said, "Ditch weak ass Chopper. I'm a way better doctor. Get his ass out, bro."
All right. To the chapter.
Luffy versus Ulti.
Luffy ulti headbutt.
Yes.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
So
amazing.
Cool.
Now
Crazy.
this scene says like a lot. You know what I mean? Because obviously we get dialogue here from Luffy that says, "This is the new world. I need to chill." And like whenever Luffy like has to like kind of like kick it into the next gear because he realizes that he's in the new world, it's always a very hype point because it's very easy for us as readers, especially week to week, to forget that this is a new world situation because of how much comedy is in One Piece. But whatever Luffy specifically says, all right, I need to chill. This is the new world. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's go.
This is Yonko's castle here. Yes. I gotta be stepping up here.
And now we have this character that's just been introduced to us that we know is a part of like a high-ranking, like situation inside of this Yonko faction, and we don't really have too much of a reason to like put Ulti like too high up in acknowledgement because we haven't seen her do anything and she just got here literally. But her status inside of her rank is not something to scoff at, obviously. And obviously Luffy is acknowledging here too inside of this clash. So it's really cool to see that Luffy is not just running through these people. So that's cool. That's fucking
And you
cool.
get the random fodder side characters that are like, "Yo, Ulti, why are you transforming right now?" Like,
you
which
killed
means
him.
like
You killed him.
They are super surprised that someone as strong as Ulti would even need to transform. You know what I mean? Like she's really strong.
And Luffy straight up said, he's like, "Okay, you're a little bit too strong, Gear 4."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're okay.
He couldn't break out. He couldn't break out of her grip without Gear 4.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck it, Gear 4 then." And then and then obviously he doesn't need to go Gear 4. And you want to know what? Page 1, elephant gun out of here. And that's fine.
Uppercut.
Yeah, and that's fine because like Sanji handled you. So it's like cool.
The slam is the best.
Can we take a little bit to say how cool it is that Ulti's devil fruit, the dinosaur, Pachycephalosaurus, that's a cool ass dinosaur.
That's a cool ass dinosaur. I knew that we were going to start getting dinosaurs that like aren't like wildly familiar. You know what I mean? And like we're gonna start seeing dinosaurs that you have to Google. You know what I'm saying? Like
the
obviously,
dinosaur fans out there know what a Pachycephalosaurus is.
for sure.
Is,
no, the dinosaur, and this is for them. This is a love letter to the dinosaur fans.
And I knew what the dinosaur was, but I can't pronounce its name. Like,
right.
I'm just reading. I guess I don't know.
But see, like that's the thing is that it's cool to see that. And now the paneling here, the choreography that we get here. So he slams. So he slams. This is the question that I have for you guys. So he slams Ulti, and then page 1 activates, and he goes to chomp him, and he gear 2 he gear 2 teleports, but is it a feint where he thinks that he's going behind him and he actually teleported under and then went into the elephant gun? Because that's what I'm thinking that it was. Because
I think he teleported under.
He definitely teleported under.
He was above his head and he teleported under.
Yeah, but like page 1 thinks that he teleported behind him, and he kind of like looks behind, like, did he go behind me? And then Luffy's under there readying up the elephant gun is what it seemed like to me. Like
I don't think he's looking behind. I think he's looking up. I think he's looking up.
I think he's hitting him on the. Wait.
Yes. Okay. So he slams Ulti. He's in the air. He's in the air. Yep. And then after he slams Ulti, page 1's coming to chomp him. Luffy sees it. He Gomu's up above to dodge the fucking chomp.
Yeah, he stretches up. Yeah.
And then he looks up like okay, he dodged it by stretching up, but then he teleports down. Okay, and then okay.
Yep. And then uppercut.
Yep.
Elephant.
Cool.
He let me just confirm right here. Like, but yeah, he's kicking page 1 in the chin, and the momentum of the swings above his head, and then gear 2 disappears down below.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. And then he elephant guns him. How dare you do that? Grabs him. He's like, fuck it, gear 4. But before that, we get the Thunder Bagua, which is the exact parallel to the scene where Kaido obviously knocked Luffy out. Now, like when you look at Yamato's design, you obviously see a lot of like similar features to Oden. You see the ropes on the back, you see the chains on the wrists, and now like this can be explained in a couple of different ways. And I've heard a lot of different theories online for it. And it's not very hard to like see obvious like Oden, theories. Like this is Oden. It's obviously not Oden. Right. I think we can be very, confident that it's not a Moria situation either. But one thing that I was saying, I think it was last week, is that Yamato might not even like have a good relationship with Kaido in any kind of way, and Yamato couldn't know the story of Oden. You know what I mean? And one idea that I had is that like maybe Yamato wants to be like Oden and is dressing like Oden because he heard the story of Oden and knows that Kaido is, and if this is like a rebellious phase inside of this character, it could be like I want to resemble the hero of Wano as much as I can because I'm in Wano. My father is occupied it in a very dastardly way. I very much so disagree with my father's methods. So I could, as a rebellious, statement, be trying to be as much Oden as I possibly can inside of this garb that I'm wearing, inside of these chains that I'm wearing that are very symbolic to the time where my father very shittily and dastardly took over this country. So like
that's really interesting. I do like that.
Like that.
I feel like the chains could really be an homage to the like metaphorical like shackles that he has being Kaido's son and not liking Kaido, trying to rebel against him.
Or it could be like a Kaido, like, oh, you want to be like Odin? Well, you're getting shackled up like Odin then too then. Yeah.
And the rope really like, it could be cool if he like, if it is Odin's rope and he found it and wears it, but it's just a kimono belt. Like it's
for sure.
It's
but
a
who else wears
belt.
that? Who else has we seen wearing that? Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
and that's where like from my perspective, like it's super interesting to me that like Yamato is wearing a mask. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like why do you introduce a character with a mask?
Yes.
And to me it's like it raises questions. If he took off the mask, would it be obvious who his mother is, say, right? You know what I mean? Because his face looked a certain way, you know what I mean? And this actually makes me think this is a very unlikely theory, but like if he is Odin-esque, and obviously not Odin, that would very much cheapen the Odin death scene or whatever, right? But like Lady Toki back then died off screen.
That's right.
Or rather, what if she didn't die? And I have no idea how this would happen, but what if she and Kaido had a kid, Yamato, you know what I mean? And this is literally Odin's son from, but a diverging timeline where like Unosuke went, forward in time and Yamato didn't, you know what I mean?
What are the circumstances that allow that? I don't even want to think about that.
I actually do not want to think about it at all because it's very,
it's an avenue. It's an avenue that I don't think that Oda would even want to explore.
Right.
An interesting thought just came to mind. There is the case of a debt between Big Mom and Kaido, and I know you guys think you know where I'm going with this, but what if now keep in mind, Big Mom, her whole thing is that she goes around having kids, taking them, casting off the fathers. What if the debt that Big Mom owes Kaido, or Kaido owes Big Mom, is the fact that she let him keep their son, Yamato? The only son, the only child she's ever let go.
Wait, Big Mom and Kaido?
Big Mom and Kaido. Yeah.
Okay.
And instead of taking the kid like she normally always does, she said like, all right, I'll let you keep this one and you're going to owe me a debt for life.
Wow.
Would it be that, like, why?
King owes her a debt too, doesn't she? Doesn't he? Doesn't King owe Big Mom a debt too?
No, she was just saying
she
like,
wants
come
King.
join my crew.
She just wants King because he's a race that
King.
she doesn't have a kid with.
Yeah.
Because
That's
she
crazy
made
though. That's
Eagle
very
though.
interesting.
Eagle though.
Yeah, it is interesting. That's
Wait a
very
minute.
interesting.
Wait a minute.
So
get Joy Boy on the phone.
Oh jeez. But yeah, like kind of going with what Noxie was saying there. Mine's a little bit more take it back a little bit where Yamato saying I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you for a very long
right.
time.
And the
you
fan translation said, I've been waiting 20 years. I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't think
doubt on that one.
Yeah, for sure. That could just be like
Yeah, so
the fan translation also said, "Listen up, you sons of bitches."
Was that Apu?
No, that was, I don't know who that was. Whoever was doing the announcing when they were saying that Momo was on the cross. Like, hey, we got an event for you.
Oh, yeah.
The 20 years thing, like, you would
That's
have
too much.
You would almost consider that censorship on Viz's part if they didn't say 20.
Yeah. No, you're right. Now, if it really did say 20 and Viz decided to not translate that on their own because they wanted to keep that
egregious.
Secret, that would be fucked up. And fuck you, Stephen Paul, if you did that, and I don't know that. Hey,
I'm just saying that, like, to me, this is evidence that the fan translation is wrong.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Turn
it up!
Mimawari
Gumi, Animal Kingdom Pirates, Dogstorm, Cat Viper. Let's go. Next.
Nicely summarized. So, to continue with what I'm saying here, why is he saying this?
Yeah.
I feel like Yamato met Ace when Ace was on Wano. And so Ace being Roger's son and in Whitebeard's crew, very much so connected to Odin.
Yeah.
Whitebeard would have told him everything about Odin, everything about Roger. I mean, he might not want to hear about Roger, but he would have. He could listen to Odin, right? Like whatever. Whitebeard definitely would have imparted all that knowledge onto Ace. Like Ace is like the rightful inheritor to that information. Right? Like,
that's right.
100%.
And so, he comes to Wano, whatever, where he made that little bond with Tama, right? It's Otama, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Little girl. Kibi Dango girl.
Yep.
And so I feel like with that conversation between Ace and Yamato, he develops a great respect for Odin and possibly even found his journal and read about Odin's life and really, really doesn't fuck with Kaido because of how Odin got hoed, how Odin was just a benevolent man that was always trying to like make the right shit happen. He might be a little wild, crazy Chad guy, but he heart in the right place, always doing the right thing, and obviously great guy. So
are you saying that the reason Yamato is waiting for Luffy is because not only did Ace hype up Odin, and that's why Yamato has his, the rope and stuff, but he also hyped up Luffy.
And
said like,
definitely.
my brother is going to come here someday, and it's going to be fucking wild.
That makes so much sense, dude.
And I don't know, like maybe with Ace's conversations with Whitebeard, that maybe Ace realized like, and Whitebeard doesn't know everything, but he knows a lot of shit. Like, is this like the destined, whatever, Joy Boy fucking reincarnation or whatever? I don't think like those two would come to that conclusion, but I feel like Ace knowing, like this is what's happening, this is what my brother's trying to do. I don't doubt him for a second. He's going to be the king of pirates and he has to come right through here to do so. You're going to have to meet him. He's going to need to take the road poneglyph from your dad. And so bet I have now my greatest ally in this war against my dad, and they're gonna run together. But on top of that, even to add another layer to this, so the beast pirates have animal devil fruits, right?
Yeah.
Who kept coming to the beach to protect Tama?
Ooh.
That fucking whatever the dog's name was, it could be a mythic zone, because like look at the hair in the mane and the face on him. It's very similar to what the fuck? It's like Pocherio shit. I don't know. I want to say
Pochita.
And with the whole Onimaru thing, that could be very possible because,
bro, I promise you, Onimaru is going to become Zoro's familiar by the end of the arc.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that. I wanted to reiterate that because it's been a while since I said that. That was like very early season 1 of Project Manga. I gotta say it again. So remind y'all, that's Nostradamus, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
But near the beginning of Wano, it was kind of like assumed by, me that it was a possibility, since it was like a Japanese setting, that like some of these mythical beasts we were seeing just actually did exist within Wano. But like then we got Onimaru being like what we would assume is a devil fruit user. I mean, he's not really.
Yeah.
Do you think he's mythically transforming into that fox, or do you think it's just a devil
I don't know.
fruit?
I didn't really go the route of devil fruit when it came to Onimaru. I came when it came to Onimaru, I assumed that it was like a very like a different, I don't want to say that it's a completely different power than devil fruit, because honestly it like, as far as what we understand of the lore
the
inside
fox
of One
could
Piece,
ate a human,
it would have to,
weird
yeah, it
model
would have
devil
to,
fruit.
yeah, like we don't really like,
yeah.
I don't want to say that One Piece is trying to introduce a new kind of energy this late in the game.
No.
But like, so like obviously it makes sense that it would be some kind of devil fruit if there is any kind of like magical kind of power happening there, which obviously there is. But
no, I mean, there's crazy beasts on all over the place.
Yeah,
Prehistoric
I mean, there's
monsters
fucking
and shit.
Yeah,
I think it's very
yeah.
possible that these mythical creatures could just exist. You know?
Yeah, and that would be cool.
True.
And that would be cool. That would be cool. But I just hadn't considered the possibility that Onimaru was a devil fruit user.
Now, Kiko, you're saying that.
My point is, the lion could be a devil fruit user.
Well, and
Or
Kiko's
lion
saying that's
dog,
Yamato.
whatever, yeah.
Kiko's saying that devil fruit user is Yamato.
Oh.
Yeah, and yes, yeah, and has been coming there to protect Tama since Ace.
Because Ace protected Tama.
Yes, exactly. All to kind of connect that. And
wow, dog.
Tama can control the grifters with the Kibidango.
Yeah, with
too.
the Kibidango. Wow.
We don't know if she could do it to Kaido or to a full devil fruit user. I don't think, right? Or no, it's only been to grifters.
It's only
right?
been
because it's been to Babanuki
gifters.
or whatever.
Babanuki and the horse one. The horse one.
Yeah.
Speed.
Yep.
Wow, dog.
So, but I like that. That's
I like
what
that.
I'm running
I
with
love
for now.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
Do we have
So
anything
much
else?
potential from this.
Is there anything else that we wanted to talk about tonight about One Piece?
No, that's all I had.
I think I'm good too. Eagle, what are you thinking? You look like you got something that you're trying to throw out into the world.
No, I was just looking at the meaning for Yamato, trying to see if it had any significance.
I looked up Yamato's name when we first got it.
And harmony.
Great harmony. That's right. Yeah. That's the individual.
That's a good name for him?
That's the individual kanji for Ya and Mato.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is what I looked it up. Is what it was. But obviously, like the name, the kanji, like together, could be a completely different thing, I think, because if you just go to Google Translate, it's just going to go individual kanji means this in one part and this in another part. But obviously the Japanese have like a completely different meaning when the words are together, and I don't think that Google Translate allows that kind of translation. But yes, great harmony individual on the kanji for sure.
I do got one more little thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Eagle. You go ahead.
Well, I hate to circle back like after we've talked about so much else, but like one more thing I want to add on to that, the Big Mom Son thing I was talking about is a cool aspect is the reason why Kaido might have wanted to take Yamato is it's possible that like, what if this is the only one of Big Mom's kids that has ever inherited her innate like durability and beastliness.
Ooh. If it is her son?
Yeah. If it is her son, what if it's the only kid we've ever seen that has her like basically her durability and her just beefiness, like she takes no damage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
Would love that.
So
Kiko, what was
the other little thing?
Yeah,
that Yamato is probably human, right? From what we see, looks very human, right?
Yeah.
So Kaido is human. Who ate a dragon devil fruit?
Yeah. Oh,
we can just get that off the table. Now that people have all this other shit.
I have to talk to Hannibal about that. Wow.
Yeah,
we have to talk to
Hannibal.
Hannibal. We got to talk to Hannibal about that because he got to. Wow. Okay.
So you're saying there are people who theorize that
he was
Kaido
a
was a dragon that ate a human.
No, I think
a lot of things.
Yeah,
or a fishman or a multi-raced. Whatever.
I think what Hannibal was saying that it was that he was a dragon that ate the demon fruit model like Oni or like the human fruit model Oni or something like that.
Oni.
Model Oni. Yeah. But
why in terms of the mixed race, like part fish man, part human, part whatever for Kaido, like why does this disprove that at all? Like
it doesn't really.
Yamato has
really?
horns. He's humanoid.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a human.
Yeah.
He has horns.
So that's not the mask?
It could be the mask. It could not be the mask. Like half the characters in Kaido's crew has horns.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right.
You're right.
I was also thinking, what if I don't know how what the hell's the mask? It's Hanma mask.
I think that's right.
Hanya.
Yeah. Hanya.
No,
wait, no. Hanya.
I don't know.
No,
Hanya's
keep
the
going.
name.
The dude in Kenshin's, his name was Hanya.
But
Yeah,
I think
keep
it
going.
is Hanma mask. But yeah,
Either way, I don't know
Hanya,
how
yeah.
traditionally they work if it includes
It's
the
Hanya mask.
hair now. But what if the hair and beard are? I mean, it looks for sure like a beard is the beard is a part of the mask. But what if the hair is also a part of the mask? And this dude
It could be.
looks completely different than we even think.
That would be
Yep.
very One Piece.
Yeah.
That would be very One
Yeah,
Piece if that was the
Yep.
case.
yeah,
Could definitely see that.
Love that.
That's fair.
Love that.
Definitely fair.
Love that.
But yeah, just the rest of him, like looking at his hands and his legs and his feet, like he looks human. He doesn't have
Yeah.
webbed hands.
But
you know,
Kaido looks human.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
well,
I just don't think this is like. I don't know what you're trying to say here. Like that he's what?
But then
he's
again,
not a dragon.
you know,
No,
Kaido has very.
That's
real
all you can take from
horns
this. He's not a dragon
all the time.
He's a
or
human.
a fishman, or
a fishman. Right. I'm just saying like nothing about Yamato disproves fishman or mixed race or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, not having webbed hands is.
Kaido doesn't have webbed hands.
Yeah, but all the fishermen
Kaido has
do.
horns
I'm not
all the
saying
time.
that Kaido. Yeah.
Well, then we already
exactly.
knew that. Okay, fine.
All right. Fine.
I mean, but people say that. Oh, I'm just saying that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
my
for sure.
theory.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
no,
just
no,
saying.
That's right.
like,
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
All right. Well, I think that'll do it.
Yeah. We're good. We're good.
Well, that will be it then, and that'll do it for another episode of the Project Manga podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. If you did, slap a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button as well and smash that noti bell so you can get all the updates for when the content's coming in. Make sure you hit that comment section down below. Let us know what you thought of this week in Jump, any thoughts or questions you had, or just if you want to shoot the shit. Also, be sure to visit that link tree in the description box down below, like we said, and where you can find the links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on, as well as links to donate and support the podcast if you would be so inclined. And with all that said, this will be another stupendous episode of the Project Manga podcast. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Eagle.
peace, y'all. It's good go.
Noxie.
And Nickums.
See ya!